Lodestar Esports now coming over to this bear, and the Volibear seems to be first to be going in with the ultimate. Sejuani ultimate missing the backline completely. MF ult coming down, taking down only the Volibear with the Vi ult in the backline on the ADCs. The jungler's gonna go down. Be a triple kill for the way, maybe even going for a quadra.
Hey yo, 6-0!
Hello and welcome back to the Svenska Online Liga. My name is Oliver Day, and once again, I'm joined by the amazing Rue. How you doing?
I just realised I waved at a camera that I don't have because I have a still photo. I'm doing great, apart from that. How are you today?
I'm very, very good. I'm really looking forward to a lot of League of Legends today. I mean, I must say that both teams really have sort of caught my eye. This is a massive game coming into this. Obviously, given at this point in the season, we are really close to that sort of playoffs bracket stage. We're starting to see a little bit of the deciding matches come through. Now, obviously, OnlyWinByFF looking to get there, to be honest. Lodestar Esports Academy, they are just shy off it. They just need to climb, need to secure their space. I mean, OnlyWinByFF, definitely the stronger team coming into this first match.
Absolutely.
But I think Lodestar, I've been impressed with them watching a lot of their games. Zeno, shout out to my guy. Best Aatrox EU.
Do we talk about Yasuo?
I mean, maybe not. Okay. I don't think. To be fair, I think like even I am wanting to remove that from my memory for him. I mean, that game didn't happen. It's all good. But yeah, on to the next. I mean, coming into this game though, Rue, what are you hoping to see? What are you looking forward to?
I'm hoping to never see that man's Yasuo ever again in my life. What I am hoping to see is some Giga Aatrox, as you point out.
Yeah.
Some amazing team play coming in from both sides and some high stakes League of Legends, because we're getting, as you say, to the end of this regular season. Both teams playing 8 games so far, putting up to 10 after today. Only a few more to go, and top 4 all important to get through to those knockouts.
Absolutely. I mean, to be fair, you look at below Lodestar, PC players, and to be fair, all the other teams are just 4 points off them. So every win is starting to matter now, and it's getting really, really competitive in that Group D. And I mean, if you're Lodestar, you've got to clutch really, 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 really hard onto the points to just keep trying to climb. In terms of like what we're expecting from both teams, obviously Lodestar, we talked about Zeno. Do you think it could be quite a big game for Zixo? Obviously, Zixo not having, the last time I watched them, obviously not being as prominent compared to other members of his team. Do you think Zixo, it's a time for him to sort of step up, really be that key sort of player, that deciding ADC in a lot of these. It's usually either that mid lane or top lane advantage for Lodestar. But do you think it's time for Zixo to really come in clutch and just farm his lane once again?
I think it could be his series. Today he's up against a Diamond 3 bot laner who is very solid in his own right. Very aggressive champ as well.
Yeah.
Big fan of the Caitlyn and the Corki down there. So looking to win those lanes early. But Zixo, he's reached Masters already this split. He's proven in some of these games why he is so good. And he has such a diverse champ pool. He can play it anyway. He can play for that prio with something like the Varus. Or he can just play passive. Play something to go even like the Jhin. Crush them late game when things like that Corki start to just get outranged. So I'm excited to see what he can pull off going into this bot lane matchup. But I'd also really like to have a look at this jungle matchup as well. Cesana, I think we're going to go with Cesana for WinByFF, is currently on an absolute tear through the diamond ranks. I'm looking at all of his KDAs, and each and every one of them is like orange.
Yeah, I mean,
crazy.
We're seeing the Wukong, we're seeing the Lilia, the Jarvan as well. Even, I know, I hate to say it, but that Scorpion you hate. And the Ivern as well. I love a bit of Ivern. I mean, to be fair, some of his KDA has been really strong, but definitely a key player for WinByFF. I mean, like you said, farming his way through that diamond rank, looking to join some of his fellow teammates in that Masters. I think coming into this, I think definitely Lodestar have the more experienced, more Masters players. But then again, WinByFF are top of the group for a reason, and they've proved that by just being a really, really strong team. Really well coordinated, really good macro play. I mean, seeing this team come into this game, I think we'll be in for a proper treat. Both teams look really, really, really eager for this. For this next game. So hopefully, I mean, we can see two teams just really go at it, and a nice close series would be really nice to see. I mean, a couple of Baron steals, couple of Drake steals. I think,
especially if we get a Varus, I'm so here for
it. Absolutely. I mean, recreate that DRX World Series. I mean, crazy.
Oh, yeah. I might not go quite as crazy as Cage did, but I would be so here for that.
I mean, in terms of in terms of different compositions and sort of styles of play, what are you looking to see here from firstly by WinByFF?
So WinByFF, just based around the jungles that they seem to like to play, they're looking to play together, right?
Yes, absolutely.
None of these champs work by themselves. That's the amazing thing about the jungle role. You can't win by yourself. It takes an island in that sense, but all of his champs work so well together with a lot of the other things. Coming in from the mid lane as well, looking at things with the synergy, like the Orianna, great with synergy. Talia, if you can give it that setup, the seismic shove increases exponentially in the value. Syndra can be a bit more isolated, but a lot of these champs are so good by themselves, and they're just increased in value when you have that extra help coming from your jungle. And I mean, there's one thing Zizana can do, it's give a lot of extra help from that jungle.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just, I think we could definitely see that jungle being a really, really key role in this game. I think that, Lonely Seal has played really well. We have seen a bit of, just a wide variety from them, but Zizana just looks so in form and so ready to rumble. I mean, I just can't get over some of their stat lines. I mean,
yeah. I can't
65% win rate of Wukong is just a 79% on Lily. I'm just blown away. I'm absolutely blown away. And I think definitely we will sort of see that crucial battle. I mean, what will we sort of expect coming from them into this, head to head? Do you think they'll specifically go for that more sort of dive composition, maybe that Jarvan, maybe that Vi? Or do you think both junglers will play it safe and play that tanky style jungler, that bit more slow, like that Skarner, like that Sejuani?
Jarvan is a interesting pick right now. It's not always possible. It is very dependent on the other team's carries. right? It was so good
Yeah.
during kind of 2023 Worlds when you had those very immobile, we're going to hyperscale. Okay, let's lock him in a pit. Join me in the Thunderdome. Now, when you're seeing a lot more of this kind of Ezreal type of difficult to get onto, right?
Yeah.
Even things like the Corki, you can just Valkyrie away. He can just ignore.
Absolutely.
So it is a lot more difficult to play something like that Jarvan. I would like to see them go for, especially, I want to see his Wukong, if I'm honest. It looks pretty nasty.
Yeah.
I'm also interested to see how they can utilize these AP junglers that he is so good at. It doesn't look like Christoph plays a lot of AD mid. I see exactly one game of Akshan, and that's best not talked about. So you don't really like to double AP in your mid jungle because it allows mid itemization so easy on the other side. But I mean, if you're playing into something like a Syndra, then maybe it doesn't matter what you're itemized into, right? Is he going to do Banshee's Veil, and then you're kind of fine. It's interesting, but I would really like to see this Wukong and just build around it. Something like a Lost Returners comp, because they are big fans of this Wukong Syndra.
Indeed. I mean, to be fair, they were playing earlier, and obviously watching Baus go crit Vi on top lane was just truly remarkable. Look, yeah. I mean, hopefully we won't see any of that going on, because there's only one person that can play that, and that's obviously Baus, and that's why we love him so dearly. But yeah, I think that it's an important match for both teams. I mean, both sets of teams just really looking just to secure, get it done and dusted, getting into that sort of playoffs. But no, it's definitely, yeah, I think both sets of teams really do need to just go out, play, be a little bit more professional, be a bit more composed, because there's a lot on the line today.
Absolutely.
I think that another interesting point going into this game is, I think we can't not mention it. There is a massive Quinn fan present for the side by OnlyWinByFF. Obviously, we're seeing Captain Quinn. I mean, Jesus, I'm speechless when it comes to this. Like, the dedication to Quinn as a champion.
Yeah, that is 300 games of Quinn mid. It's not even Quinn top. That's Quinn mid.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like it'll be happening today, unfortunately. Favoring a lot of those support champs in the other games that aren't Quinn mid. When he gets auto-filled elsewhere. Big fans of the Nautilus and the Alistar. I've seen some really good Alistar play recently. I'm interested to see how he can pull that off. Potentially has a pull that you could look to target ban. If you take away things like the Nautilus, the Alistar, it suddenly does get thinned out quite a bit. But he's also got one game of Lulu, and that didn't exactly go poorly. So
7-1
lots of
KDA.
options.
Yeah,
especially when you're pairing it with all these ADCs that we have going on.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it is ideal to have your support. I believe that it is the support, but your support, having such dedication to one champion. But like I said, they are focused on being a support, and we are seeing a little bit of that engaged style support. Bit of Alistar, bit of Nautilus. A bit of Nico, a bit of Leona as well, and obviously that Blitzcrank. So, looking forward to seeing how Captain Quinn does come into this game.
Looks like it's gonna be jungle target band.
Yeah.
If they take away the AP, they know roughly what they're gonna be playing into. It's gonna be one of these bruisers. I don't mind it. I wonder if they are gonna leave this Ivan up as well. I'm assuming it's gonna be Zyra second ban. Maybe they just look elsewhere. Take something that they find annoying away, but if you're leaving open Wukong Syndra for 1-2, I think FF are going to be super happy with that.
Absolutely. I mean, to be fair, that Lilia ban and that Vi ban as well. Okay, really, really crucial there. Both sets of junglers know what's on the line, and they're like, yeah, we're just not going to have any sort of engage. We're just trying to remove as much slow as possible. We don't want that Lilia playing. I mean, obviously, Lilia being a very, very strong champion for Sejanna. We are going to see the Zyra ban as well. I think Lodestar definitely going for that target jungle ban. They recognise that. Yeah. Oh, maybe it's Christopheros on the jungle. Oh, okay, this changes things.
That changes a lot. I don't know if they just lined up in the wrong order, because that doesn't make sense looking at the RPGs.
I mean, I do think it will be Susanna jungle, but we are going to see that Darius. I mean, Darius, very, very strong early game. I mean, one might say he's the strongest champion before level 6. It's just incredible. I mean, he's just so good at just fighting, and he just pretty much wins every one-on-one possible.
He is the stat checker.
He is the absolute stat checker. I mean, his passive and bleed is just so strong. Now, we obviously see that Ashe, I mean, I quite like that in a way. I mean, the Ashe, decent scale potential. I mean, she is just a very, very strong ADC at the moment.
Yeah, I'm interested to see why they chose to ban that. I can see Katsu has a game.
Yeah.
His most recent in ranked was on Ashe, but it's not in his top 10 most played. He plays basically every ADC. I wonder if that's just a choice of, I really don't want to be playing into Ashe today because there's not much else to really back up that ban. I do like the idea of banning this double AP jungler. Interested to see now for FF, if they're allowed this Wukong Syndra, do they take it? Is it going to be taken by Skagen? Because he also is a fan of the Syndra. It would be a very nice takeaway pick. Instead, they're going to go with the Varus.
Yeah, Varus, I mean, being definitely, I think, one of Zixo's best champions, I would say. I mean, I think pretty much every time we see him, there is a Varus in Lodestar Esports. Well, at Academy's games. I mean, Zixo, very, very strong in the Varus. I mean, definitely one of his favourite ADCs. But this does leave it a little bit open. We could potentially see a bit of the severe. There it is being hovered, and we will see it. I mean, thoughts on that sort of matchup there?
I mean, Katsu's only taking this if they are super confident in their ability to take this Sivir into the Varus. Varus likely to get the prio early, push this Cinder under, the Sivir under. I'm actually very interested to see why they've chosen that. We mentioned before how vast Katsu's ADC pool is. He will play literally every single champ that you can think of that belongs to the bot lane. He will play it in the bot lane. We do see Chris taking that Wukong second, which we did wonder if they were going to. But that Sivir is really throwing me off. I'd love to see how they pair this now in the bot lane.
Indeed. I mean, the Xin Zhao, I mean, I think Xin Zhao to Wukong, definitely decent matchup. But then again, if Sejanna is on that Wukong, it's not ideal, considering how strong they are on that Wukong. Skagen looking to pick. I mean,
I think the issue is you're playing into Sejanna in the jungle, and he's strong on basically everything. So he's strong on the Wukong, but he's also strong on literally every other champ he plays. Skagen comes out with the Orianna. Orianna's in a nice mid jungle pairing, though. I think if they take this Syndra on 3, which we did wonder they're going to, I'd probably favour FF in this mid jungle overall. They have the ability to really get in under. Ball delivery system is there with the Xin Zhao, but it's so telegraphed when it's coming. Syndra can scatter the weak at any moment, obliterate an Orianna in the side lane. I'm looking quite scared right now for Lodestar Academy.
I mean, it comes down to that top pick. I think there might just be resort to comfort. Obviously, we know the skill by, OnlyWinByFF. They are the stronger team in respect to where they are in the table. But I don't think it's particularly all over. And we will see Zeno having his favourite Aatrox banned. I mean, it's, to be fair, the only way to probably counter Zeno is just to ban his Aatrox. We always see that Alawi ban.
I'm interested to see why they're banning top. I wonder if they're preparing this so they can blind top. Hope Zeno goes something that will nullify the lane. He doesn't have much that wins outright, apart from things like his Renekton.
Yeah.
So potentially Marcos gonna go with something like a Jax blind if it is up and available. Allow the Renekton to be coming in, and it's not even going to be that bad of a counter unless he bans the Jax himself. Are they setting up for R5?
Potentially. I mean, to be fair,
but you've then banned your own counter. If he takes the Renekton, unless Marcos fancies the Renekton right now, he doesn't seem to enjoy it all too much. His big favourite of what's left is kind of the Ornn and the Urgot, both of which will get absolutely destroyed if Zeno does go on that Crocodile. So
indeed.
I'd love to try and work out. I'd love to be in the team comms right now for FF, because this draft has been very interesting.
I mean, the Nico, I think that's got
That's
to
an
be
aggressive bot lane.
support. Yeah, I mean, severe Nico. I mean, the poke is insane. The damage is insane. The CC is insane coming from that Nico. I think that Varus will struggle a little bit depending on who he's paired with. The Karma, I like the Karma. Very strong at the minute. I mean, hopefully we will see that Karma. I think that's definitely a strong pick.
I think Renekton clears here, though. If Zeno is bold enough to pick this Renekton, FF really need a tank. Otherwise, Zixo is going to be allowed to go Lethality Varus, and he will chew through these health bars as this game goes on. If FF don't take a tank here, Lodestar could be looking to steal this first game, because their comp is so well-rounded right now. They have the engage that they need, but they also have the sustained damage with things like that Karma, just the shields, to deny things like that. Sivir cutting through the wave. It's going to be the Camille taking top lane. Zeno, has he stepped a little bit too far there?
I mean, the Camille, really, really good engage.
There's no Jax.
Yeah, true. There is no Jax. But the Shen potentially being picked into that. I mean, Shen, very, very strong. The Malphite, oh my goodness. A bit of a tanky. I mean, obviously, yeah, builds a lot of armor, so obviously, that lethality Varus will be nulled just a little bit, but I think both drafts have their very, very strong and weak points. I mean, obviously, I favor.
FF's engage is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, just that Malphite ultimate from the weak. Well, from the Malphite, obviously, and then the Wukong, Syndra,
Unstoppable Force,
Nico,
Hot Blossom, Cyclone, all of these knockups. I mean, if they had a Yasuo to pair with this, I'm just saying, he would be feasting. It would have been,
yeah. I mean, I kind of like some aspects of Lodestar. I like the Orianna. I mean, I know she might struggle a little bit in lane, but we have often said how, we have often doubted Skung in a lot of games and just said, oh, well, I don't think really, they may lose lane a little bit, but the next thing they're 3-0 and they're leading on CS. Zixo on that Varus, you love to see it, but we are seeing a bit of gaslight. Well, I would say gaslighting, but a bit of gassing up for Zeno on the Camille. Let's see. I mean, to be fair, I think I have seen Zeno Camille. I think one time before, and he was very, very strong on that. And I think he's just a very, very well-rounded top laner. He could play a lot of things, but apart from that, Yasuo, of course. But other than that, I think
I have to say I don't doubt him. I just doubt his matchup into the Malphite. I don't fancy a Camille. The true damage is going to be nice, but he's just not going to care. He is an absolute rock in the top lane. Will anchor this team, and he might lose lane by a little bit, but I don't think Xeno's going to get far enough ahead unless they can really pressure with things like the Xin Zhao on the Malphite's timers where maybe he's out of mana trying to push those lanes. That is kind of where you can punish this Malphite, is kind of level 4, level 5, just before he gets his ultimate. He starts to run out of mana if he hasn't already backed, and that is your timing. But if he's able to get out, then it's just going to be an impossible game, I reckon, to get. Like, how are you getting through this Malphite? Unless you force this Varus onto the kind of lethal tempo build, but then he's so much less effective into the other 4 members.
I mean, we'll have to see it. I mean, obviously, like, coming into this game, Lodestar definitely the underdogs. And to be fair, I think the bans have been really, really strong in respects of OnlyWinByFF. I mean, the band, some comfort picks there. I mean, no Braum, no Darius, no Aatrox. I think that has put Lodestar in a little bit more of an uncomfortable position. I think that this will heavily favour on that top and sort of jungle matchup. I mean, I think that if you're Lonely Seal here, you're going to have to prioritize top a little bit, because as long as Xeno wins his lane, he'll be able to just scale a little bit easier, just hopefully become a little bit fair, do a lot of damage, really good engage and disengage on that Camille, so very, very good in fighting. But I think definitely coming into this, WinByFF definitely has that sort of stronger draft. I mean, I'm not sure. To be fair, I think you'll probably agree with me. It's definitely in favor of WinByFF.
Yeah, I mean, they've looked incredible this split, right? I don't think, however this game goes, I don't think we can blame anyone for trying, because it's not going to be for lack of trying this game ends. It's going to be for at least superior skill, maybe even I'd argue also a superior draft, because I think the way that Malphite anchors the rest of that team together, they have so many knockups, so many circles. You know how my favorite shape in this game is a circle.
Yeah.
The Pot Blossom is a great circle. Malphite, it's a smaller circle, but it's still a great circle. They have so many options for crazy engage, and I mean, I know we're in the competitive environment, but I wouldn't even be shocked if this forced something like an FF coming from Lodestar Academy if they can get this Malphite ahead, just because it's going to be near impossible to get past it.
I think, obviously, there are ways of just trying to burn down this Malphite, but if you prioritize that, then you just give so much space and affordability for the rest of the team. I mean, you do not want to be seeing that severe popping off. I mean, you don't want to give pretty much her any ounce of space or even farm. But then again, you got the Wukong and stuff like that. Obviously, it's just, I think, very, very difficult coming into this for Lodestar. They've got to, I don't want to say play safe, but they've got to be on the front foot to begin with. They've got to be on their objectives. They've got to be, then ganks have to be perfect. You can't really waste any resources. I mean, we are just seeing a little bit of about a little bit of banter in the chat. We have seen Camille has a hexagon though in response to your circles.
It's not a circle. It's not a circle. I maintain circle is the best shape in this game. In engineering, it's the triangle, but unfortunately, League of Legends outcasts all engineers at the front door, so we are circle gamers.
I mean, we love to see it. We love to see the chat. I mean, shout out to the Lodestar, just not only just the Lodestar community, but the LOS community as well. They've been absolutely fantastic. The SOL version. Not LOS. SOL community have just been fantastic. I mean, week in, week out, we get lots of funny chats. We get lots of just overall really good engagement, and we really do appreciate it. Honest to God, shout out to the chat. But coming into this, I mean, Lodestar, definitely the underdogs. They're up against the really, really strong Titan that is WinByFF. The draft definitely still favouring WinByFF. I mean, we're just going to have to see how they sort of play in game. I mean, you never know. We could be completely caught off guard, and they could be absolutely just shaken by what we see by Lodestar if they, come in and just take the game by storm. But
yeah, they have their timings to fight in this one. Things like that Varus, if he does end up going on the lethality, when he hits that Dirk, that power spike that you get initially, if you can time that with something like the Camille getting her Sheen to go into that Triforce, you have the timings to fight before the one items. After the one items, it's going to be difficult to really get through unless you're already ahead. So they're going to have to be pressuring on these early timers. If they can get a Camille, a Triforce, before the Malphite gets his first item, I think that's going to be the key decider in this one. Typically, the Malphite item is going to be quite a bit cheaper.
Yeah.
Things like even like the Iceborne Gauntlet, which is sometimes deployed, is only 2,600 compared to 3,300. The Camille's going to have 700 gold extra to get to that item to really press that advantage that she is potential to have early. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
We have to see if they can do it when we get into the Rift. But in the meantime, looking elsewhere, I mean, Wukong into Xin should neutralize, but I'm scared of this Wukong.
Yeah.
Piloted by Cesana, I'm scared of everything he does.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. I mean, to be fair, if you're coming into this game with a 65% win rate on Wukong in rank this season.
Yeah, no, that's not that's on 20 games. That's a 13-7 record.
That is pretty solid, if you ask me, and I would be absolutely terrified, honest to God. But I think In that mid lane matchup, what are you sort of expecting from that? Obviously, the Syndra, by my reckoning, she will sort of win that lane a little bit. But then again, Orianna is just so strong in that harassment and just poke. I mean,
it's another thing where the Orianna's gonna have to win early. If we get to the stage where it's 40 minutes, the Sivir will win the team fights. They have the tank advantage with the Malphite. They have the engage advantage with the Nico, the Malphite, the Wukong, everything there. But they also have the side lane advantage. The Syndra is so good into an Orianna in a side lane. Orianna is either going to be forced to build something disgusting like a Banshee's Veil,
yeah,
or she's going to be forced to take the other side lane into a Malphite, which just neutralizes. And then you're left with a Syndra into a Camille, which is a lot more variable and is likely to be the strong side of the map. But I'd happily send my Malphite off to go deal with the Orianna, because nothing's going to happen there. But plays can happen around your Syndra, the way that plays just can't happen elsewhere. So overall, I'm going to have to favor the Syndra in that matchup.
agreed. Now we are going to see us head into game. A little bit of an early poke there. I mean,
Nice match, Q.
yeah, nice. You love to see it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the mid and jungle are swapped on our overlay, and that is difficult to change when people load in as the wrong role. Hint, hint. Please don't do that again for game 2, FF. That would be annoying.
But yeah, I think coming into this, I mean, I like, to be fair, pretty standard runes. If you ask me, grasp on pretty much both top laners.
Lethal
The
tempo
demolish
Varus.
for the Malphite. I mean, the Varus, yeah, lethal tempo.
That's the one to point out. That's the
Absolutely.
key thing that we were wondering about. That Malphite pick has forced him into being a tank destroyer as opposed to a everything else destroyer, as he could have been. It's going to be difficult. See who gets the prio in this lane. Without that boomerang toss, it's going to be difficult for the Sivir.
A little bit of just early poking, a little bit early trading there in the top lane and bot lane. I mean, just that Malphite, that natural shield that just comes back, it just makes him so tanky. It'll be really difficult to just try and cut him down to size. Obviously, that's why they have the lethal tempo, but that does open the gateway to the Sivir, to that Nico, to that Wukong, to the rest of the team, essentially. And ideally, that's not what you want your Varus to be doing.
Yeah.
I definitely think winning the trades.
They do get that push.
Yeah.
Not by much. That was their level up minion right there, that melee creep that did fall without even getting an XP range. Unfortunate. I'd also like to take this moment to point out how many biscuits are on this map
A
right
lot.
now. 4 champs with biscuits. Varus already popping one. Did take quite a hefty trade early. Angelbot does have that heal against the Ignite, so they have something to go even more sustained, but
Yeah.
an unfortunate popping of that early. And I'm also interested to see Varus accepting that there's too many knockups for the cleanse to even bother with. Goes with the barrier in his summoners, and I think that is probably the right call overall.
Agreed. I mean, it's both junglers. I mean, heading bot side, they're pretty much cleared. And to be fair, I mean, a little bit of talk on the biscuits. I'm not sure about you, but I can remember a time where biscuits used to give a vast amount of managed regen as well. Not anymore, sadly, but they used to be incredibly strong.
Yeah, I mean, they don't give the mana, sure, but the amount of HP they give in such a short amount of time. Every time you think you have a kill angle, you have to be checking tab, checking that scoreboard. Do they have a biscuit that they can somehow survive this all-in? Because it's like 100 healing in such a short amount of time. And it will throw off a lot of these kind of auto kills that we expect to see. Going to be the split of the crabs. Very default start to this game, but both mids looking gankable. Jungles are around. If this Wukong completes his back, could be dangerous.
He will complete his back.
Looks like Xin Zhao going to follow suit. And a little bit of a wasted tempo there. No camps respawning just yet, though.
You just look at the amount of damage that Sivir is just chucking now, but she is really low on mana. It does get rooted, potentially. A kill, but
Harry was a bit late there.
But she will get out. I mean, that's a good start for Lodestar, you know. Definitely
the bot lane's already ahead,
in the lane.
you know. 10 CS already, and then you're going to be able to push this wave, crash a wave into the Nico. Sivir not going to get any of that gold nor the XP. Looking now towards this top side, as we thought, Malphite around this level 4, level 5 timer is running out of the mana in this lane. If he can hold it for just a couple more waves, has the TP to get back. Looks like Jungle's just going to go for the reclear once more, top to bottom once again. Wukong about half a camp ahead though.
Absolutely. I mean, to be fair, it's just looking really, really decent all around. I mean, a little bit of a, tiny little bit of a gold lead. Lodestar, not that they're not out of it yet. The underdogs are setting a decent.
Yeah, that looks a lot
tone.
bigger than it is, and you suddenly see the scale on the side.
But no, both lanes fair up. Both top lanes nearly approaching that level 6.
Both already invested TP as well.
Damage. Yeah. I mean, they're really committed to both lanes. Like they do not want to back. They want to just farm as much as possible. And obviously, the demolish as well on the Malphite. He's just going to shred turrets. And you don't really, given how important Atakan is, you don't really want to give up that feat.
Yeah, odd to see both teams not even thinking of any prior on the grubs. Going to be going instead onto this Karma in the bot lane. Both jungles, when they clear top to bottom the second time round like this, they're going to end up fighting over this early Mountain Drake instead of those early grubs to do things like kill those turrets for that Malphite. The Sheen proc's also so good. A nice trade as well onto the Sivir. Half HP. That'll get them the prior in this lane. They're going to have to kill this dragon quick, or they're just going to have to give it up. The prior is already gained for Lodestar. This is a difficult one to fight. They're going to go deep on this. Flash over. Absolutely. First blood.
Nice! Wow. A very nice arrow, but unfortunately Zixo will pay for that. Angel Bot a little bit out of position.
Oh my god!
The shockwave was massive! Incredible! The Shinzal's there to follow up. Absolutely fantastic. What a shockwave! Oh my goodness.
That sent a shock through my system. I was not expecting that much damage. That much damage coming off a Doran's ring and an Amp Tome? That is crazy. Orianna turns up huge. Skargan goes nuclear. And you pointed out before the draft even began, going even in the early trades against this Syndra and suddenly gets a double kill on the roam. And they're up.
Absolutely. I mean, just looking at that fight, that's a massive, important fight. Obviously, getting that first blood was really nice, but unfortunately Zixo paying his life a little bit too deep there. But the follow-up from Skagan, I mean, what a shockwave that was. And obviously that's put them ahead in that mid lane. Obviously getting the Lost Chapter as well. Very, very nice.
Yeah, I don't know how the Syndra's managed to get a Chapter and Fated Ashes. That is crazy, by the way. Unfortunately, forced out of lane, does get to buy the Dark Seal on that back, but all those minions basically frozen under the Orianna's turret are just going to be falling for nothing. Xeno topside looking for his trades. Going to get this wave under eventually, but into Barbie Cinder and a Thornmail, a Gravelvest. This is such a neutralizing lane. If all these lanes can keep staying even and FF can not find these awkward fights, they're going to go in instead.
Yeah. The Wukong does use the cycle in there, just not going to be able to get that pick up at the Xin Zhao. And Xeno's there to follow up. Really, really good play. Does manage to secure the kill, but in the meantime, the Syndra will find that Karma. Angel Bot going down.
Go too.
Captain Quid will also go down as well. Xeno, excellent play. But the Malphite's
they're turning this.
It's really strong, but they're falling really, really low. Can they get the follow-up? They can.
I mean, Skargan's going to get even bigger off of this. This is huge right now.
Insane. I mean,
4
kills.
0 3?
Insane.
I mean, if you ever want the Orianna to keep up in a side lane, you give her 4 kills, 3 assists, and a full item at 9 minutes, I guess. That should keep her going for a good little while. I am shocked. FF going for these plays, it feels like out of desperation so early on in the team comp where they're scaling. It's so odd to see. They have the ability to just wait. They don't need to be looking for these plays right now, but they're going so deep. And it's really backfiring so hard right now. You're fighting on the Orianna spike. The Camille had the roam, had the push in the top lane, the ability to get down the river faster, and yet you force it with the Cyclone. You use such a key ability so early on, and it just turns even worse.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just what fighting from Lodestar. You know, obviously they do occasionally pay that odd life, but the 8 kills up, massively fed for Skagen, which is huge considering we sort of did favour that Syndra a little bit, but now this pretty much secured them the grubs as well. This is really nice. I mean, so
very
close
late
to
grub
Anakan.
rotation.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, but again, Skagen.
Solo Bolo.
I'm speechless.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely speechless.
8 stacks on a Dark Seal now as well. Already with the Archangels into Blackfire, typically a worse item in those early trades, but the Malphite has roamed down. Can Lonely Seal keep Skarget alive?
But Susanna falling half health. That's so much damage. Being snowed by the Xin Zhao. I think potentially they don't win this 2v2. I think Skarget is just so fair, delivering such high amounts of damage. Obviously with the item advantage as well, and a couple of stacks on that Dark Seal. I mean, definitely looking superior in this game. Lodestar, 9 kills to 4. 3k gold diff. I mean, this is the start they wanted.
Yeah, and this Orianna, I did not expect Skargen to be this strong this early. Already with the 5 kills now, looking to back for a bit more stability, likely going the Merc Treads. Could even go Magi super early this game. Already with the 8 stacks on it, 1 more kill will max out the capabilities of that item, as you see a little skirmish forming in the mid lane. Both supports liking the roams to mid right now. Nothing going to come of this one, though.
Yeah. I don't... To be fair, I think, like, if you're, WinByFF, you've just got to calm down a little bit. I think they've been getting a little bit too aggro in these fights.
They have the scaling advantage.
Yeah.
It's so odd to see them forcing these plays. The Dragon felt greedy. It felt like a knowledge check, if nothing else. Just seeing, okay, so you have the prior bot, and your mid's going to stick around. With it being Mountain Drake first, do you think we can clear it in time, or are you going to be able to come here and challenge us? And they came and they challenged, and it was so powerful in that engage, giving up the Varus for so many early kills on this Orianna, and she has snowballed that lead so well. The rest of these plays feel very forced and almost desperate, which is so odd to say so early in this game.
Absolutely. I mean, to be fair, obviously, like you mentioned, WinByFF having that scaling advantage. I mean, you're right, they just need to stop forcing these fights very, very early on. And to be fair, that's come at a small price, because that Orianna is very, very fed. So is Xeno, getting the proxy in now, chat. I mean, does have that Trinity Force before his opponent in the top lane, obviously.
It is easy to do that when your opponent buys a Barrel Vest. That did take 800 gold out of his econ. Basically, that difference in the items. We see the engage now.
Angel Bot will be falling. I mean, a decent Cyclone from the Wukong. We did talk about Sejana's very, very strong Wukong, and I think they don't need to chase it. Xeno needs to sort of
Top
maybe
side.
back away, but there is a nice ult in that, just in that bush there. I mean, to be fair, a little bit of... Oh my goodness, what a shockwave. Oh, it's so unfortunate not to follow up that damage. Forced them really, really low. Zixo tries to poke out. Cards is good, but unfortunately not going to find much. But them shockwaves being a really, really, really crucial point. I mean, to be fair, not ideal fight for Lodestar there. Obviously, they did lose two kills afforded. But
they are so threatening right now. Just the mere presence of this Orianna is enough to put straight fear into the hearts of OnlyWinByFF. So close to getting the Archangels online as well. Already a haunting guys towards what looks to be a Leandries on the Orianna, which is a slightly unconventional pick.
Yeah,
I don't mind it.
I don't mind it either. I think the burn is really, really nice, but I think then again it's also, you know, it's one of them anti-tank items to help burn down this Malphite, who is building all AD at the minute, so doesn't have much protection against that the Andrews once it's built up. Now we are going to see maybe a potential contest for the Grubs. Sejuani just managing to...
Skarga doesn't have Shockwave just yet. 10 seconds to wait. That would have been a great timing window for OnlyWin to really force it. I'm not sure they had the Cyclone up and available, though, to do the same. These timings on these ults, having fought so recently around this mid lane, but everyone's rotating up. Bot wave completely dropped by both sides.
Malphite coming down. A little bit of early poke. Hopefully we can sort of see, but...
Chains Crush landed on bot side. Cactus got to run.
Absolutely. I mean, to be fair, I think affording this... I mean, obviously they've already secured the Atakan, so these Grubs aren't that important, but they do have the majority. Obviously, 6 would have been really, 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 really strong for Lodestar, but they are happy to just afford them. But we are going to see a bit of trading going on, a bit of dueling. Not going to find much of an outcome there. Xeno will probably look to recall here to spend a little bit of cash that he's acquired, but a bit of poke once again. Skarga does have the Shockwave.
Yeah, forced flash. Greedy positioning, trying to push their advantages where they have them. 2k up, so you can kind of get away with it a little bit, but now your Enchanter support without that flash, not as important as the Nico's flash in this game, probably the least important flash out of everyone on the Rift right now, but still not somebody you want to just give over for free, just for a little bit of an overstep.
Absolutely. I mean, to be fair, like, coming into this, obviously, it's... You would fancy WinByFF. I mean, obviously, they're sort of back into the game now. They've closed that gold gap just a little bit. But Lodestar, what a start. I mean, I'm close to getting that first turret here. Marco is just hiding in that bush.
Sure no one here to help. He is being weak-sided incredibly hard right now. On the other side, just the wave clear coming through. Varus on the Blade of the Ruin Kingspike has the ability to take some of these aggressive trades, especially with Karma hitting that Moonstone Renewer before the Nico gets that Proto Belt. There are timings where Lodestar are just stronger, and this is one of them. Honestly, across the map, it's the items that they have completed are that much more potent. But if they're not going to look for these fights around things like the Rift Tail, their timing windows might just fall out. And the Syndra might be behind now, but come 20 minutes time, always going to be a threat in these side lanes. The Orianna has a Seraph's, unlikely to save them with just that extra little shield compared to the force of a Syndra. I'm scared that they don't force this Herald, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they will. I think obviously they're pathing down a little bit. I
mean, that is their sole point of spawning on the map.
Yeah,
right? It's not the worst choice in the world, but I feel like that was a good window where you were strong. Please go get the plants. Please.
Oh no,
go Hex. We
do not like rose petals here. I mean,
no petals for Syndra Flash. I think I'll take. But Pop Blossom comes in.
Is massive. Does manage to find 2 in it, and it will be WinByFF getting a couple picks back here. Lonely Seal does manage to hide away under that turret, but what an engage. I mean, we talked about that engage during that draft phase, and we have just seen it.
That was the engage, but it was also 4 of their flashes for that engage.
I agree, true.
That is a once every 5 minutes kind of play. The rest of the time, it will not be that potent. They will still have some of the buttons, but they will not have that level of gap close to get right on top of that Orianna. Even through the Seraph shield, completely obliterated in that fight. First turret will go, all 3 feats of strength, heading over to Lodestar, and I think he wins this overall.
I think he should win this duel. But that Malphite, then again, is just so quick. Yeah. But
and there is the Rift Herald, instantly popped. Mid turret likely to fall as well here. This will really open the map up for them right now. Red buff spawning on the top side as well. If they want to be greedy, go for that invade. It is right there for them.
Oh, look at the amount of grubs that have just spawned. That proving definitely worth that early game, showing right now. Obviously, 20 minutes in. 9 kills to 8. Lodestar holding on to their gold lead just a little bit, but we can safely say that WinByFF are slowly back in this game, if not back in this game already. I mean, items galore, we are going to see that Leandries and... well, sorry, yeah, we are going to see that Leandries coming through, and that Ravenous Hydra as well. That, you know, seeing that Camille with a lot of lifesteal, she just becomes pretty much unkillable. I mean, we are going to see finally a bit of MR coming in. That Hollow Radiance, very strong item there for that Malphite on the top lane. Considering the amount of, you know, high damaging AP that we are going to see, like, coming from that Camille, it's not Camille, sorry, that Orianna. I mean, that Orianna is just so lethal. I mean, you can't not build Hollow Radiance, and obviously it helps with the Malphite wave clear as well.
Yeah, I mean, if one champ doesn't need wave clear help as a tank top lane, it is probably the Malphite, but he's going to take it anyway. Into a Camille, already had that full mare up as well, prepared in advance for the 2-item spike of the Ravenous with the Triforce, ready to play into that lifesteal. As they're going to start up this Ruinous Atacana, it could be the end of them. Ruinous for both teams could... I mean, they're just going to go.
Seal does go in, but will be met with a bit of a cyclone. I mean, not gonna...
Chains of Corruption on the clone. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But it is 5v4 right now. Malphite has no TP up. TP in 10 seconds. If they can take this 5v4 right now, they have a great timing to push this.
Indeed, they need to just mount down this Adakan, because the longer they stay in this fight, the longer that Adakan is also in this fight,
it's starting to get in
going to
there.
burn them down.
Ooh, that was close. He nearly got in there with the clone. Flowers looking to go the way of OnlyWinByFF, but the huge shockwave.
Shockwave just puts them back. I mean, this shockwave just gets them down to half HP. I mean,
I think FF got most of the flowers there.
Yeah.
And sure, the rest of Ruinous is fine. The extra power on the soul is great, but you've got to get to the soul first. Only the 2 dragons taken so far, and at that, it's a chem soul. You know, tenacity and shields could be worse when you have things like the karma, but it could be a whole lot better as well.
Yeah.
Where tenacity doesn't matter into all these airborns.
Indeed. I mean,
oh, that's
low. Potentially could be a kill here. Zeno does force such a really, really low, but Zeno will be punished. A little bit of overextension. Does not see that the Malphite and Wukong
was Lodestar waiting on his Wind Becomes Lightning? Because he saw Christoph there on that ward. They had the ward in the tri-brush. If he had Wind Becomes Lightning, he has let his top laner die without getting the trade.
Yeah. I mean, in the meantime, we're going to see that Orianna straight into that side lane. Skargan looking to get a little bit of push going forward. But will be met with that Syndra. Christophorus able just to sort of peel for that lane and just contest.
I'd love to see people just alter the turret once when they have grubs. It does so much chunk for free. You will not believe. Like 100 damage, you hit the auto, obviously does whatever it does. And then with something like these 4 grubs, you will just get free damage for absolutely free. As Angelbot looks to be potentially caught out right now.
A little bit of spot above her.
On the hunt
will
is
be
the Sivir.
absolutely burst down, but will be able to live. I mean, that severe poke is just so strong. Same with that Nico. Unfortunately, not to get the root off there, but it's, you know, they are playing this really, really safely. We're definitely more of an even game now. I mean, WinByFF coming alive in these past couple of 10 minutes, do manage to find a couple of kills.
It's just unfortunate to see how this is equalized, because Lodestar had the timing windows to really push. They had the ability to really get ahead in this game a whole lot further. Gifted a couple of early engagements where they didn't have to think about it too much. It was the natural play in a lot of them. They were right, you know, handed on a silver platter, given to them. Big plays to get Skargan ahead on this Orianna, which we pointed out as a key win con for them, and now they're just overstaying in these side lanes.
Caught again. We'll try their best, but unfortunately not going to find much there. I mean, I think, like you said, overstaying in these side lanes, just getting a little bit too eager. I mean, they will have to back off here, because obviously there is a presence in that mid lane, and that Malphite and Nico are roaming and pathing topwards. I mean, we are going to see the Severe and Wukong take that Chemdrake in the meantime.
And that's another 5 minutes on your soul from Lodestar. They're just adding time before they can actually get to their win con right now. Their win con was the early soul, taking those early drakes, getting a ruinous Atakan to spawn. You have a powerful soul, and these poor engagements, these overstaying, they get 700 gold for it in the long run. But I'd much rather have one more of these dragons heading up. 5 minutes until a soul fight is so much more powerful than 2-2 in the Drake score. There's no map pressure right now. It's 35 minutes. It's going to be the earliest a soul can be on the rift for either team. And at that point, OnlyWinByFF are likely to have scaled this Sivir to a point where she is so strong. She's already approaching that IE spike, that third item of pure crit destruction. It's getting worse right now for LSE, and it's going to keep getting worse before it gets better, if it gets better at all.
Absolutely. I mean, to be fair, I don't want to say almost a little bit through because the game's not over yet, but they've sort of threw their lead away just a little bit by just not taking advantage of their early lead. I mean, I would just like to see a little bit more coordination in these team fights. We are going to see a little bit of a collapse in that bot lane onto that Malphite, but that Malphite would just run away.
Got a whole lot of support coming as well. This is a dangerous play for both sides. If they go on the all-in fight here, I don't mind their chances for LSE, but they are without a Varus. If they take it, it suddenly looks a whole lot worse when he's gone back up to clear that wave. And he has to be careful now to not overstay himself.
Indeed, he needs to be really, really careful considering there's 4 players moving top side for...
Forced to give over a cannon, that always hurts. Doesn't matter what part of the game you're in. Being forced to give over a cannon never feels good.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see how they sort of pair up a little bit more in a little bit of team fighting. I mean, obviously, Skargant's Shockwave, definitely the play. That's what you got to play around. But Angelbot caught in the middle of nowhere, found by Susanna. I mean, will go down. Again, poor positioning, not ideal for Lodestar there.
There's not even any vision to clear up there either. That's just an overextension play. Xeno has the ability to push these side lanes. If you're just able to neutralize through mid, the turret will go down. He can ignore that Malphite. They're going to collapse on him, actually. The Syndra has gone super deep. Over vision. Didn't get pinged going over that Tribrush ward. I don't even know if the Camille knows that she's getting ganked from the far
find
side.
it. We are going to see a nice sneak up, but that will be the shutdown onto the Severe, and look where it goes to. I mean, obviously that Orianna, but Xeno still alive. Does well. That Malphite falling really, really low. Needs to try and find some follow-up, but does go in a little bit low. Syndra's still able to do a lot of damage, but that potentially will be that fight sort of over.
And we're back up to a 2k gold lead because as the bot lane of OnlyWin, you know for a fact that you are making a play on the bot side of the map. You have lost your mid tier 1, they have their mid tier 1. They are going to get that mid prior when you don't have the support of your Syndra, of your Wukong, both of whom have gone down to try and kill this Camille. You cannot be stepping up in this lane to try and get that push when the rest of LSE is off the map. That is a dangerous overextension. He got rightly punished by Lodestar Academy.
Absolutely. I mean, to be fair, we saw in that fight just then, I mean, that engage from the Sinzal was on point. I think that Nico popped just a little bit too late. Looking to maybe try and peel with it, but to be fair, the Severe was pretty much dead as soon as she got engaged on. But that Orianna starting to do a lot of damage does get the Rabadon's death cap. I mean, obviously, a lot of AP damage coming from that champion. Still has 6 stacks on the Dark Seal. I mean, doing really, really well. 6 kills, 1 death, 4 assists. And definitely one of the win conditions, if not the win condition, is that Orianna. Yeah. How far she can stay ahead. And Xeno, unfortunately, just trying to be a little bit, give a little bit of harassment in that bot side jungle. Maybe tries to go after that blue buff. Not going to find much. But we want to see a lot of bodies collecting here in this jungle, probably looking to fight some way.
We will see the root like this. It's
does force
somehow,
the flash. Oh, yeah. But the arrow's there. Zixo manages to take down that Nico. I mean,
it's an interesting choice to face check that. They're likely on. They're going to go for this dragon when it spawned. But it hadn't spawned when they went for that face check. Captain Quinn getting a little bit greedy, dare I say. They're going to likely take this side tier 2 for their troubles. But you're giving over the sole point, going the other way now.
Xeno
You had the
able
ability to
get
fight
there.
around for this dragon. And now your Nico, one of your main engaged champs, loses the flash. Doesn't lose Pop Blossom, but that basically respawns with her anyway. It's just... I'd love to understand the reason behind letting her face check alone when they have the dragon can't even be started yet. It's not even on the rift.
Marco will push that wave in and look to recall. Just I think both players sort of a lot of players just resetting.
Abyssal Mask.
Yeah, Abyssal Mask. Okay, I can see why it did take, you know, I would say a medium nerf in the last patch, but you know, we are going to see that Abyssal Mask, for, you know, to be fair, for a very strong reason. That Orianna is just dealing so much damage, and
It says how much damage she's dealing when the tank top laner is building 2 MR items into a solo AP on the other side. Camille, Varus, Xinjiao, all dealing physical damage. Speaking of which,
we're going to see a nice engage there. The Wukong Cyclone, but unfortunately healing's not going to be on time. But they will look to take this. Tier 1 mid turret finally does go down. Oh, things a little bit more even in mid lane, but they could potentially pay the price. They could get... Oh, but no, they'll take the Baron. Okay,
yeah,
I mean...
I don't know if they see that Xinjiao in bot. I'm not sure if he was spotted or not, but it goes the other way. Your mid-tier 1 turret had about 10 HP, and it was super greedy to go for it there.
This guy does have the shockwave available. Does need to look to try and use it. Maybe they are clumped
Camille
up.
full delivery system is there. They can delay these backs for a while, but the Varus is never going to get into this fight. This is always going to be a 4v5. Ball delivery system has arrived.
But there, the Malphite does ult in the back.
Oh, the shockwave gets nothing.
But the shockwave doesn't get anything. Not going to find much. The Nico ult there is just to shut down. Not ideal. This fight not just going the way of Lodestar. I mean, very, very well played there by WinByFF. I mean, they'll potentially look to end here. I mean, that is not ideal at all. Finally seeing that demolished coming from the Malphite. It's just...
So much of this game coming down to mid-prio being contested over incorrectly by both sides. It was a way back in for Lodestar, and then it's the way the game is going to end for OnlyWinByFF. Catching the Varus out in the mid-wave, pushing where he wasn't allowed, and it is such a quick obliteration of the Nexus.
Absolutely, and to be fair, WinByFF, I mean, what a performance. I mean, to be fair, Lodestar definitely dominating the first start of that game. The mid-game just maybe fell off slightly, but like we saw there, WinByFF just played the fights a little bit more smarter. They just evolved throughout the game, and obviously that gave them result. Well, gave them the result in the end. I mean, overall, it's a very, very, very interesting game to sort of review and sort of go over. I mean, I can't lie, it's just...
It's bizarre from all sides. Bizarre is the word that fits best for me, because both sides had their ways to win, had their win cons to play around, and both seemingly chose not to. The Camille side lane threat was very real. And, okay, maybe it costs you mid-tier 1. That's fine. Bend, don't break. Take the mid-tier 1 loss. Get the side lane tier 2. Get this Camille further and further ahead. Make her a bigger and bigger threat. Don't waste your life in the mid lane trying to contest a turret that has about 10 HP left on it, especially when your jungle is strong siding the Camille on the bot lane. You're so far away from that Baron, you're never going to get there in time to contest. As the Varus, you have to give up that turret. Staying over has cost both of these bot lanes at different points in the game, but it just ends up costing Lodestar Academy so much more.
Absolutely. I mean, to be fair, it's a very difficult sort of MVP to, you know, sort of call coming into this. Obviously, I think
the Wukong found some nice angles.
True.
There were a lot of times in that game he just managed to stabilize at the right time. It is difficult, as you say. I think Malphite also played very well to not lose lane too hard.
Yeah.
Going into the Camille, it's not a fun matchup early. It doesn't get much more fun late, but he was able to group at the right times, and the unstoppable force definitely went through the immovable object of Lodestar Academy, completely destroying in those end fights.
Absolutely. Don't forget, chat, you can vote for that match's MVP. It is a poll in chat, so please do go and vote
I
for
have no
your
idea who I'd vote
MVP.
for.
I mean, personally, I'm always a sucker for giving it, to anyone, regardless of who's the winning team. I think Skygan played out of his nut in that game, but unfortunately, in that last fight, not being able to get off that shockwave was just so. But they've been so consistent up until that point, and obviously that's not really ideal. But look, for Lodestar, there's things that they can take from that game. Obviously there's another game present in this series. They can absolutely, bring this back. They could come back. Obviously, I think the draft did come through in the end for,
The
for
circles combining always. Always
you
and
and your
forever.
circles.
Tell me I'm wrong.
But
Big circle, small
Yeah.
circle, combine together, and they get the map win.
I mean, to be fair, every time you've mentioned your circles, it's always been the winning team. And
Exactly.
so, I can't knock it. But I think definitely the draft showed a little bit there. Obviously, so, doing really well in some regards. Obviously, the engages at some point were really, really strong. But unfortunately, I think getting caught in the side lane just a little bit too much. I think their priority was a little bit messed up in certain areas. Obviously, they did keep going for them split pushing angles, but at one point, WinByFF were just given pretty much a free Baron. I mean, it was uncontested.
It's uncontestable. The way it was
Yeah.
played, getting the pick on the mid lane, and then when you're strong siding on the bot lane of the map,
Yeah.
if you lose that mid fight, it's so far to travel. Xinjiao, obviously a jungler without the TP to get across there. The smite was way too far away. As we're going to have a look at our MVP for this game, it was in fact Christoph 5, 3, and 10 on the Syndra, pumping out the damage. A worthy choice in the
Yeah.
end, and he was doing very well in that lane until his opposite number got so many free kills on those early roams.
I think definitely did well to come back into this game. Obviously, given such a rough start, I mean, credit where credit is due. That comeback was fantastic. And I think, obviously, getting back into lane, which is exactly what Christoph did. I mean, it's not easy. I mean, considering I think there was one moment in the game where we were like, how on earth does Christophorus still have pretty much the same amount of items as
That was
as Skargan,
the fact that he
despite
kept
the amount
up
of kills.
was crazy there. The Blackfire Torch timer, having it at the same time as the Gigafed Orianna has that early Archangel spike, it just impacted the game so effectively.
Yeah.
And it didn't even come down to needing the side lane presence. I feel like matching into the Camille could have been rough if that was what happened in the end, but they were able to keep their lanes the right way around, keep the Malphite slightly losing, while the Syndra is able to dominate the strong side of the map. And the 4v4 is just so in their favor, and it probably gets exacerbated when the Malphite joins. That unstoppable force is so nice. Free CC to be added on top of everything else. It's a beautiful combo.
Indeed. I mean, I think, looking at the positives, I think definitely Skargan and, Xeno, sort of the highlights there. I mean, I think Zixo went a little bit under the radar on that Varus. I think I would like to see him maybe on that Ezreal. I would love to see him on that Ezreal. I've seen what he can do on that Ezreal. Even a little bit of that Jhin, Caitlyn. But I think there's definitely some positives here for Lodestar. They can take this into the next game. I think probably they'll need to work a little bit more on their draft. I mean, to be honest, we both said that we didn't really favor that draft.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, look, it's not over. It's absolutely winnable for Lodestar into that next game. We just have to see how they sort of fare up. Any sort of other like critiques or analysis that you could sort of say that was definitely one of the key defining moments of that last game?
I think that not overstaying on your side lanes,
Yeah.
not overplaying for your mid lane when especially that turret was so low for both teams. You cannot overplay your mid lane prio if you haven't got your support around you.
Yeah.
When OnlyWinByFF went for that play on the Camille and the bot side, they finally decided we've had enough of this split push threat. We're going to go down and figure it out. The Syndra is already down in the bot lane. The Wukong is already down in the bot lane. You cannot be fighting 4v2 for the mid prio as the Sivir. It cost her life, it cost a dragon, and it could have cost the game if they didn't find a counterplay in the exact same scenario against Lodestar Academy. It was just so much more powerful with that Baron take.
I believe we will be going to a little bit of a break, so stay with us as we'll have our next game after.
I can see the shadows look like you. I gotta forget, find something new. There's no going back for you and I, you and I. Don't know what you want, I need to know. Don't pick up the phone when I try to call. Tell me what is wrong, oh, what is right, what is right. 'Cause now it's too late, nah, 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 too late, nah, 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 too late, nah, 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 too late, nah, nah, now it's too late, nah, 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 too late, nah,
Hello and welcome back to the Svenska Online League. And I mean, we've just had a very bizarre, but then again, entertaining first game. Obviously, Lodestar Academy being a little bit unfortunate, starting so well in that first game, but unable to just hang on. But only win by. I believe that. Oh, there we go. We're back. But unfortunately, only win by FF. Doing really, really well. You know, struggling in that early game. I think potentially just needed to calm down, and eventually they did. I mean, Rue, coming into this second game, then what are you sort of expecting from both teams? Do you think, do you think Lodestar will change things up? Do you think maybe only win by FF will just keep that same approach?
I'm expecting a bounce back game. Right now,
Yeah.
Lodestar Academy need to show up. They need to prove that they want to get top 4 right now. It's in the balance. If they lose this game, then there is a chance other teams could catch them going into the
Yeah.
final couple of match days. I believe in these groups of 8, you get 14 games to prove your worth. One blue side, one red side against every other team. Team like PC players who we saw take a game off of Lodestar when we last saw them, they can really put the pressure on. They can move up to 12 points, equal with Lodestar. After they play their 2 games this week, it's going to get close if Lodestar don't get a result against what looks like the best team in their group. Both are tough scenarios, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Right? You got to either beat the best team in your group or you got to win out effectively. But you got to prove that you want to make it all the way into these knockout rounds, which are happening so soon.
I mean, to be fair, I can't wait for the knockout stages to start, but it's now or never for all sets of teams just to get forth. I mean, to be fair, only win by FF have such a lead on it compared to the rest of the team, of the other teams in the group. So
if there's one team that could afford to take a break, it is only OnlyWinByFF.
Yeah.
But then again, if you have the chance to dominate your group like they are, currently 20 points through 9 games. I don't even know how they've managed that, by the way.
No, it's
incredible. They have I think they've got 10 wins from 9 games, according to that, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was possible.
It's otherworldly. David Blaine material.
Feat.
Yeah. But no, it's interesting. Now coming into the draft, we did speak about the draft a little before we went to that break. Now, what can we expect to see coming from Lodestar? Obviously, their first draft in that game not being as strong as what we had sort of expected or hoped.
Yeah, well, I think we can see the same-ish bands coming out. I'd like to see some deviation. Maybe you do stick with the Ash ban. It's okay. It's not my favorite ban, especially when your enemy ADC has so many champs in their pool, right? Looking all the way down, their 10th most played has 14 games this split. So many games for Cactus. I like the idea of pinching AP jungle. You know then roughly what you're playing into. But at the same time, I'm not even sure that's necessary, right? I think even if you don't pinch them, they're going to go AD jungle anyway, simply because of Christoph's own champ pool. Unless they go crazy. If they want to pair something like a Lilia with kind of Vex or Orianna, whatever Christoph wants to pair with it, you're playing double AP. The Galio is in such a strong counter pick that you don't even have to have played it much to be so powerful in your own right. Maybe that isn't a champ within Skargant's wheelhouse.
Yeah.
But if he has that as a counter pick option, I'd love to see that. I'd love to just bait them into going AP jungle. So I think it is a bait.
Yeah.
I think using 2 of your bans, it's going to be rough if that's your overall goal in this game. And I mean, it was a heavy investment last time round, right? Yeah. 2 out of the first 3 bans going into AP jungle, it didn't feel like it was likely to come in any case. Interesting to see how they adapt.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been pretty interesting thus far. I mean, obviously we'll see it now heading into our draft. I mean, Lodestar on the red side, OnlyWinByFF on the blue side. And we are going to see...
I heard something.
I heard something, yeah, indeed. A little bit of lag present, but yes, there we go. The Brawn being banned, for for Lodestar. It's a decent ban by OnlyWinByFF. Same, pretty much as we saw in the first game. You're going to see that Lilia ban again. I mean, obviously, Lodestar recognizing the threat of Susanna. I mean, it's, seeing Lilia have a 79% win rate is just crazy.
Yeah, that is the counterpoint to everything I've been saying. He is way too good to let
Yeah.
it through, right? There is that kind of constant fear of just kind of getting dunked on by the Lilia.
The Varus,
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I just like to see them let it through. See if they will play it, because I'm not convinced that they can run this kind of double AP comp.
Yeah.
But they banned both of them again.
I mean, Lodestar being pretty stubborn, but we are going to see a little bit of change coming through. OnlyWinByFF obviously banning that Varus. To be fair, I think this potentially could be a good thing. I would love to see a bit of, like I said earlier, Ezreal up 4-6. So we are going to see that Vi ban, however. Obviously, Lonely Seal does play a bit of that Vi. Obviously, definitely one of his strongest champions in that
It's a very
jungle.
good single target as well.
Yeah.
Kind of champs that OnlyWinByFF are looking to play. The Sivir has some self-peel that we saw from that first game. And Cactus has so many of their own champs that they can play into whatever comes his way. But Vi, always a very dependable, very blindable jungle. Interested to see, is Marcos going
Darius.
to take this Darius? Or are we getting baited once more by Hovers? I'm not convinced until I hear it in my ears. Unfortunately, draft is a bit laggy. There we go.
Yeah.
You don't even have to hear it. It is picked first.
I mean, Darius, definitely really, really strong. I mean, obviously, I think definitely the most picked top laner currently this competitive season across, I think, most ranks. I mean, he is just so strong. He is just really, really, really strong early game. Zeno picking potentially that mid laner. Picking for his mid laner. I mean, that Syndra, we did see how lethal that Syndra was in the last game. Obviously, Christopheros getting that MVP. Now, Lonely Seal could be potentially picking that Wukong.
Steal their bot lane back. Steal their mid jungle back.
Yeah.
Both of them play these champs to good effect, and we saw how powerful they were when taken by Red Side last game. The sides have swapped, but the champs have not. Heading onto the other side, what do you take into this now? That
does have a lot to work with. Now that is
blind.
I think so. I mean,
did you just take on blind?
I'm pretty sure. Yep.
Okay. I mean, there's nothing against it, but it feels very counterable on 3 by Zeno. Something like the Renekton, if he wants to play it, is available. Things like the Aatrox also very good into those tanks top.
The Talia
Darius. I'm not a fan of that mid jungle.
No, but there we are. We are going to see that Zeno on his trusted
I did the
Aatrox.
thing.
Absolutely, you did. And I'm happy. I get to see one of the best Aatrox players that I know play Aatrox, and it's going to be really, really nice to watch. Now that Nico ban, I mean, to be fair, I don't think really had that much of an impact. I've got to be honest in that last game, but Lodestar recognizing that, in these team fights, that Nico ultimate could be quite annoying. But that Ezreal ban coming through as well, Zixo potentially maybe forced onto that Caitlyn Jhin. Having 2 ADCs banned here, they just OnlyWinByFF are just trying to make his life as much difficult as possible. I mean,
And Zixo's ADC pool is vast, but nowhere near as vast as Cactus.
Indeed.
Cactus will be happy to take whatever he wants into this. Going to be the support pinch coming from Lodestar in return. none of that Nico going to be seen once more. Way too much engage would have been there if either the Nico or the Leona had been allowed.
Yeah.
Now, for Lodestar, one more ban yet to be seen. Do you take bot or support R4? Which do you want to counterpick?
I think, yeah, you take support because, like, actually, no, I think they've already banned a support. I mean, yeah, I think you pick support first
Okay.
because obviously, Zixo is against it at the minute. He's had 2 ADCs banned. And yeah,
I think if I'm
he will,
Zixo, I'm
but
taking the AD. Aphelios without the Lulu is a crazy shout, but he is going to
yeah,
take it. Without the Lulu, with that being banned at the end, going to have to find a different enchanter. Should have enough engage coming to the other side, but you are going to get bullied out of lane early by
absolutely.
this Corki.
That Corki, so strong. That Gatling gun does so much damage. Could be paired potentially with a Poppy. That Poppy is so tanky. I mean, OnlyWinByFF.
I think this needs to be engaged though. I like the Alistar a lot more
Yeah.
here. FF need they have Ornn when the 5v5s eventually happen, but until then they're gonna need some form of CC just to lock down these targets in the early phase of the game. That is a bait.
Renata. Okay, there we go.
Good disengage.
Yeah.
But not necessarily good disengage into an Ornn.
Yeah.
I feel like that your Renata is very good into the melee engage. Things like the Leona, very easily handshaken away from. Doesn't have quite the same enchanter power either, as even something like the Karma could have done for this Aphelios. I feel like they're just trying to do kind of a jack of all trades with that that counter pick at the end.
I mean, I'm just intrigued. Obviously, that Ornn top lane, and obviously Darius jungle as well. That Darius will be, in my eyes, be looking to gank as much as possible. Just get a couple,
Stat check the hell out of them.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that Talia mid, strong pick there. I like the Alistar. Obviously, we talked about Captain Quinn preferring that engaged style support at the start of the stream, and obviously they've sort of picked that Alistar once again. But I think that it's a decent draft, I think, for both teams. I'm not sure which one you would sort of favor.
I do like the Syndra with the Renata into Darius.
Yeah.
Very solid. Just please get away from me for the next couple of seconds. Kind of champs. Buying yourself that time to run to safety, run to your team. Darius, if he's caught out in the open, unable to find some odd angles, if he's able to get the flank angles, then he's going to be absolutely deadly. But if he's forced to run from the river, if he's forced to run through the lane,
yeah,
he's going to be forced back at every opportunity by things like the Scatter of the Week, by the handshake. Aatrox should be able to hold his own with the Infernal Chains as well. All of these champs have nice self-peel and team peel from Lodestar Esports. I just fear that when they want to start the fights isn't when the fights are going to start.
Absolutely. I mean, to be fair, I think, in some aspects, this is definitely to be fair, I think in most aspects, this is a better draft for Lodestar. Obviously, Xeno's on his trusted Aatrox. He will look to try and boss that top lane as much as possible. And obviously, Lonely Seal picking that Wukong, stealing that pick away from Susanna, who we know is really, really strong. And we saw it last game, was really strong in that Wukong. So that's a nice little bit of drafting a little bit more better there. But I'm intrigued to see the Aphelios in action. I mean, like you said, we'll struggle a little bit early on against that Corki, but we will be heading into game pretty shortly, so do bear with us. But overall, I think that Lodestar, obviously they've recognized that their draft wasn't as good, and they've changed, they've made some additions to that, and I think this draft suits them definitely a lot better. I mean, I am intrigued into sort of how they'll sort of play around that high amounts of engage, but it is interesting. I mean, let's talk about, I think, the Talia. Where does the Talia sort of fit into this.
Talia is an odd pick,
competition.
right? Because it
Yeah.
has very little setup. Typically,
Yeah.
you take the Talia so that you have a nice. You take Talia with something else like the Vi, which was banned away, but you take it somewhere where it has the setup, some sort of lockdown to really kind of make the seismic shoves unmissable. Seeing it without that is a very odd choice, especially when you have something with as little CC in the jungle as a Darius.
Yeah.
So many other champs with much more CC than him available in the role. Talia is a pocket pick of Kristoff's. It is a very strong pick of his.
Yeah.
Especially after that Syndra is taken away. And it's another side lane threat, right? Syndra into Talia, it's going to be explosive, however that side lane ends up going. But I would have liked to see potentially something like the Orianna coming once again, but on the complete mirror. It is well within his wheelhouse. I think it's a better matchup overall than this Syndra, than the Syndra into the Talia. If he can hit the seismic shells without the setup, then fair play. Go win the game, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's kind of the extension to a win con, but it doesn't feel like the reason they'll win. It feels like an extension to them winning.
Now we are going to see a little bit of just pretty much a 5-man cover in terms of vision along the river. I mean, not going to be much there. Obviously, the Ornn versus Aatrox in the top lane will be a very interesting lane. I think that Ornn would just prefer to just sit under turret, farm as much as possible, try and get to his level 11. And to be fair, I think that it's quite strong. I mean, obviously, Ornn's such good engage. Offers a lot in team fights. CC, a lot of damage coming from his
And it's
W.
engage that isn't mitigated by something like the Renata, right?
Yeah.
Renata is taken for the peel, for the anti-engage, for the disengage that she provides. But the Ornhorn, when it's summoned, the Forge God's coming.
Oh,
He
yeah,
has been called.
absolutely.
He's coming. It's going to run through your team. If the hostile takeover hits at the right time, then sure, you can deny the R2, but he's going to have to be either, that's going to be Angelbot flashing in to get that kind of a CC, or the Ornn is going to be way too far out of position, and the fight will probably be lost before that happens anyway. So that type of thing I don't expect to see coming through. There's potential for the Cyclone to disrupt, but a lot of these engage angles coming in from OnlyWinByFF are basically down to this Ornn, and it's up to LSE to try and deny that Ornn from really pushing his advantage in these team fights when they come around.
Indeed. I mean, to be fair, we are seeing, appreciate some of the runes. Obviously, the grass demolish, bone plating, and overgrowth on that Ornn in the top lane. A little bit more cookies in chat. We'd love to see it.
Yep. Everyone loves the blue tree.
True. And to be fair, I'm seeing a lot of phase rush, and obviously, that's something you kind of need on Darius, especially if you're looking to gank. I mean, it just enables him just to basically engage a lot easier, and obviously once he gets his slow on 2, there is nothing you can do. There is no escape. Absolutely no escape. Now, a bit of early trading in both sets of lanes. I mean, not gonna find particularly much. I mean, 6-0 would definitely be looking to just play it safe, considering if that Alistair lands onto him, and obviously that Corki is just there to follow up with a lot of damage early on. Now, just a little bit of early poke there, not going to find much. The Darius Cesaris,
I'm finding this Aatrox trading absolutely crazy, by the way. He has not lost a single
trade, no.
health. He's not lost a single bit of health. It's not just the trades. He's not even lost any health. This Ornn is already down to about a fifth of his HP coming out of this early lane phase. First scuttle taken by Susanna. Likely going to be able to get that double scuttle. Lonely Seal looks like he has given up the ghost on this one, unless he wants to contest. Both jungles have smite, but Skargan has the rotation, and that is disgusting. Q smite did about 900 damage there.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, junglers for their smite, well, for their scuttles would do absolutely anything. There's no shame when it comes to jungle players. If it's a scuttle,
Yeah,
it's like
nice tasting crab meat.
yeah, true. I mean, they'll do anything like saw there, smite for it. I mean, that's going to be the TP used for the Ornn there. Return it to lane and no TP
Unfortunately,
available.
not quite enough gold to buy the full-on Bramble Vest. Only has 700, not quite the 800 he needed to get that anti-heal, because he is going to need that anti-heal into
absolutely.
this Aatrox lane.
The Aatrox is just so strong. Like, the constant CC and the constant sort of lifesteal coming from his passive. I mean, just the trades are just going so far in Xeno's way that
And they'll continue to until he can afford a Bramble Vest. At the very least, he'll need some way to stop his damage from getting did by just being healed up instantly. He deals damage. Across the board, tears bought, and nice little punish on that one. A little bit of damage onto Kristoff on the TP. Skargan
will look to back.
Should be able to get a chapter as well. It's going to be a nicer back for this
Yeah.
Syndra. If they look to fight right now, Skargan is going to be absolutely vibing. There is that chapter. TP's in. You're playing mana into full-on Lost Chapter, but the dragon is already going to go to OnlyWinByFF way before those grubs are even spawning for LSE. This early game is looking mighty fine.
Indeed, obviously, it's just it's a strong start. It is a really strong start. I mean, obviously, Xeno winning, I would say more of his lane currently, but Lonely Seal just miss out on some objectives. We'll probably path upwards to see them grubs, but I believe that obviously Susanna will look to contest these grubs. He is pathing topside.
He has the strength to, right? He has a serrated Dirk. No one wants to fight a Darius with a serrated Dirk. Bot side, just going to bonk that
It's a nice
Aphelios away.
route. Agerbot does land it onto 2, but
Nice trade overall.
yeah, definitely winning that. Skargan will flash away from the wall.
2. Can they get this third and get out? Looks like they should be able to have the smite. Both champs able to get over walls as well. Very easy disengage. Not even a point in sticking around for the Darius. Goes back to his clear. A good mitigation of that early dragon being taken. Able to get the trade in the long play for LSE. As the bot lane looks to make a play potentially on mid, completely abandoning their lane here.
I don't think Agerbot knows. They're in a wee spot above her.
Good safe pathing.
Yeah. Does recognise that they're there, but
Zixo
will
playing
have to
it
back
safe
off.
as well.
Yeah, we'll have to back off a little bit there. They've got such a big advantage in this bot lane, at the start. Obviously, the Alice is just so good at just landing CC, and obviously the Corky's damage is really, really strong. Now we want to see a little bit of stealing of the Raptors by Susanna.
Ooh,
Will manage to
flash.
get the grab off, and unfortunately that will be a first blood for him. I mean, very well played there, I must say. Obviously,
Yeah, playing around the lack of flash of Skargan as well. Having to flash over the Weaver's Wall earlier gets completely dunked on by the Darius. Not using the right skin, I have to say. But it doesn't matter in the end when he comes from that high, comes down that hard. Double flash out of the mid jungle. So it wasn't a play that was made for free, but it is still first blood headed over to only win.
I mean, to be fair, that is such a nice start for that Darius. Xeno,
He's
going for a
proper
potential little bit of tower dive, does manage to force.
Doesn't take an aggro, but he's going to take aggro in a sec.
Yeah, does manage to force that Ornn flash. I mean, the poor Ornn so scared for his life, just flashing constantly in the turret. Does get the knockup, but I will force Xeno to back away a little bit. But
The Infernal Chains to stop the back as well.
Marco's
to be
staying
forced to
here.
stick another wave. He's going to have to stay another wave, otherwise Xeno gets way too much from this play. He has the Call of the Forge God if it's needed to protect himself. Xeno has to be careful. If he takes aggro too early, the wave clear of the Ornn is not to be understated. He's just going to go.
Xeno does flash away a little bit low there, and obviously,
Hello.
meanwhile, we are going to see that Talia pathing a little bit upwards, but not going to find much from
Hits
it.
the shove.
Does
Didn't
manage
get the
to
stun
get some
with the-
damage.
He didn't get the stun with the Unraveled Earth. If he
Unlucky.
threw that ability out early, he could have got the stun with his shove. So close to getting that kill. A little bit deep from Xeno overall.
Yeah.
Doesn't get all too punished in the long play. But now this Ornn should be able to neutralize overall as Talia's still pushing this Aatrox way. He's not allowed to back just yet. No TP either. This is rough.
No
The more his
TP,
tempo
but
goes-
okay. What on earth? I think
it retracts every statement. But
yeah,
Aatrox is fine.
Xeno is the GOAT. We can confirm he is messy. It's like this guy is
a
crazy.
little bit deep for a tempo reset, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
I wonder what did that bird? Did he have red buff or something? Oh, hello.
I don't think so. But the Alistair charging in, not going to find much there. Does manage to get a quick proxy on that wave, but Renata not going to find much.
Force him to
But
stick around.
that Corki is falling low. But Captain Quinn,
Good
able
trade
just to-
overall.
yeah, decent trade, especially for. I mean, Lodestar.
Even if it did cost all 4 flashes out of the bot lane.
Yeah,
Cow, the only one with a semblance of a flash right now, having the Hex Flash. The better of the 2 flashes, if you ask me. All 4 other summoners ready and available. The Flash Engage, Flash Pulverize used. It got the flash out of the Aphelios. It pushed him really far back. Able to turn it around so effectively, though. As coming onto the map now, this Darius, already first completed item of the game, goes over to him. It is the Yomu's Ghostblade. Run it down, Darius is prepared. Are they going to contest this dragon?
I think they surely have to. I mean, Lodestar will try and look for this, but they will
Wow.
take it. But then again,
Q
the
smite.
grapple straight into that will be the clone. The wall not going to find much, but will get stunned. Lonely Seal needs to get away, but that Darius is so quick. And he will go down. Good follow-up by Captain Quinn to stun Lonely Seal. And unfortunately, that will be a kill.
And he's looking so much better on this Alice than he did in the whole of game 1. Back on a champ that is much more his comfort. Just go engage. Slam your head into them. Slam the earth down. Throw them into the sky. Feed them to your teammates. And it's working like a charm right now. The speedy cow moving across the map with his Swifty boots. Likely to get 3 grubs as well. Susanna has the smite in 4 seconds. Just can delay this last one a little bit. Don't even need the smite even. Just takes down the 3rd grub. That is feat to strength.
free.
Hotly contested now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, win by FF looking for an extra kill in order to guarantee them the feat of warfare, but Lodestar still in that contest. I mean, obviously,
Jesus, those trades.
do need another 2 kills, but the trades are so
He already
clean.
has Cleaver.
I know.
Aatrox already has Cleaver. And I mean, he
such
is
a good play.
cleaving through that through the Ornn right now. He is chunking him. The armor shred being put to full effect. Thornmail is able to be bought by Marcos without even having to back. Love to see that. But I would not fancy that lane right now. It looks terrifying.
It's you know, Xeno, we talk about him a lot. He's definitely up there in terms of top lane. We are going to see a lot of invading going on. And to be fair, why not? You're on Darius. No one can really contest you thus far. I mean, obviously, Susanna on that Darius
has
is
to be
so
careful.
strong, but I believe
That's
that
Flash
was-
for Hex Flash.
Yeah.
Captain Quinn proving that Hex Flash is the superior. Use it first, get the other one out. Who needs Flash when you have Hex Flash?
True.
Mid Flash down once more. No flashes apart from on the Aatrox compared to basically everything up right now.
Decent row. I mean, Captain not going to find... well, no mana will continue to stay. really, really low on mana now. Angelbot could potentially follow.
That's a
He
route
might
as
get the
well.
route. That is a good route onto. Will get hooked a little bit sooner, but Renato is going to be followed up, and that will be Lonely Seal taking that kill. Meanwhile,
Didn't need to pop the
Susana does
Cyclone that
walk
early.
back
This could be
in.
dangerous.
We are to see the Talia ult coming in. We are to see the TP coming from Zeno. The Cyclone being used to try and knock this Darius away, but the Darius continues to find kills, manages to find 2. Will be shut down though by Skargan. Zeno looking to maybe get a little bit more follow-up, but what a
little bit far at the end there.
action-packed fight, but potentially could see another kill here. Skargan falling a little bit low, will eventually go away.
Skargan didn't even use his ult either, by the way. Still has the Orbs of Death ready to fly out at this Talia if they overstep. And a nice swing play for somehow for OnlyWin, even though the play at the end did start to turn back around a little bit. Marcos free farming in the top side while Zeno TP down, unable to make his presence felt, and popped his flash at the end for unfortunately no effect. Ornn sitting pretty in this lane now. 11, level 11, already up and available. Soon to be getting those upgraded items as well. I have to say that Ornn scaling is looking amazing this game right now.
It is looking really, really, really strong. Obviously, Zeno, while Zeno is staying strong in his lane, but he's so needed in these fights just to get rid of this Darius. Darius is just, you can't contest him in that range. Obviously, he does fall off late game, but you've got to get to that late game first. And, you know...
Well, he might fall off late game, but you know who doesn't fall off late game? Corki, Talia, Ornn.
True.
So you have something like the Darius to keep you going through the early game. Alistair going to be able to put out his CC whenever he wants to. When you get that Darius to keep you going through those early game, you can fight early, you can fight late, you can fight whenever you want. And they're going to be looking to potentially fight once more around this tier 1 turret. Soon to fall. 10 seconds on Drake as well. Would be second for LSE, first for OnlyWin. Late Drake taking this game.
Okay, they do manage to get
I
that
thought
rip
OnlyWin
onto
had one.
Susana.
OnlyWin got one earlier, no? This is Ocean. This is an Ocean Rift. They have a hidden dragon.
Yeah. I believe they
OnlyWin have
do,
a hidden
yeah.
dragon. This is definitely their second Drake. They definitely got one earlier because they rotated it for the grubs.
Yeah. We're going to see a little bit of, just AoE is just so strong for Kristoff. He's just able to force Lodestar away, and that will be an uncontested dragon going their way. I mean, it's looking pretty strong here for OnlyWinByFF. Really, really strong. We're going to see Zeno getting the proxy in, looking to try and stay ahead in his lane. And Lonely Seal will be moving on to that Rift Herald. Definitely a much needed objective. It's looking pretty strong for OnlyWinByFF in this early game so far.
Who would you say get favoured by this game neutralizing as it seems to be right now? Both teams seem to be happy to let this game kind of fall into nothingness.
I mean,
Who would you say, in the long run, is more happy with this game state?
I mean, to be fair, I think that
Nice scatter.
I obviously do think about scaling champions. I think that definitely OnlyWinByFF are, the team in control right now. Like, they definitely have a grip of how Lodestar are playing. Obviously, with the amount of objectives they've got, they've just been constantly zoning them away. And I think in the late game that'll work well, because obviously if you get your objectives now, you will definitely have that advantage throughout the game. And it's definitely proving. Obviously, I mean, look at the turret progress. Obviously, first turret not going yet, but we look at that bot to top across that mid as well. They're just putting Lodestar under so much pressure. I mean, that top turret is one away from being hit. Same with that bot
Top and
turret.
bot, both one hit.
Yeah.
Mid doing pretty well, though. Like to see that from LSE. Able to keep their main turret, their main stalwart in this game alive. If that turret falls too early, that could be the end. If OnlyWin able to snowball that lead, because that mid turret, there's a reason why teams so often end up inting to try and get it.
Indeed.
It can be so potent. when you can unlock the rest of the map.
Now, OnlyWinByFF will be shifting their focus bot side. They'll look to get this first turret to secure them, that Atakan. And that it will be. I mean, it's looking pretty strong right now for OnlyWinByFF. Obviously, they're in control. They've opened up the map first. I mean, they're close to opening up that top lane as well, which will give them massive side lane advantage. Xeno getting a little bit of trading in.
Ornn is able to trade back though. Upgraded Hollow Radiance, 2-item spike. He's hit 2 items before this Aatrox.
Oh,
He's
a
forced
beautiful
flash away.
flash. A good flash. Because obviously if that Alistar was there to follow up, and, you know, like I said, if that's 2 CC components, that Aatrox is going nowhere, and it's good that he survives that. Otherwise, giving that Ornn a kill, you know, would just enable him to really come back into this game. Now that Ornn does have 2 items, obviously that Hollow Radiance and that Form Mail's coming in. Not getting his boots, prioritising them items first. Which, to be fair, you know, I don't really blame.
Strange plated.
But 20 minutes in, Atakan spawning.
We have one of each
in the
today.
bot lane.
We have one for each. Hello.
Oh, Renata roll is used. And we will see a kill coming in. Katsu going down. I mean, we are going to see potential.
Really odd
stun.
engage there. Like,
Yeah. It was just out
Flash.
of nowhere, to be honest.
Flash headbutt pulverize on to the Aphelios. Gets his own flash out in the end. Support flash, ADC flash. Sounds good. Until the rest of the trades come in, and suddenly you're minus an ADC who is also minus barrier, as they're looking to do a little bit of a vision play here as well.
We are seeing
This
Captain
cow.
Quinn does go in, will be punished for it though. I mean,
Yeah, no,
Lonely Seal
Unbreakable Wall
definitely
used it in the
finding
previous
these
play.
kills. Finding these kills, Lonely Seal. I mean, obviously, that does put Lodestar a little bit back ahead. I mean, ideally, you want some of them kills to be going on to that Aphelios. You do want them to scale. But they will be potentially starting Atakan. Now, Marcos is
This is a GA Atakan as well, by the way. Voracious Atakan. If they can kill it, finish it off in the 4v5 as it is right now, they will be able to find themselves a free life. But it's going to be the engage coming to the other side.
I mean, both, Talia Ultimate and Ornn Ultimate being used. We
Xeno's
obviously
going
see
in
Xeno
deep.
going in. Xeno getting a lot of life
God.
still, manages to live there, but will be bursted down. Needs to try and finally get a kill, but no, he will not. No, it will be 2
Trade back, that's
kills.
jungle.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
got to
smite guaranteed
this.
now.
They will smite it. They do have that that Atakan buff, which means they can int pretty much as possible and not be sort of punished for it. I mean, Christopherson really low. Sky gonna look to maybe try and get a kill, but well played there by Lodestar. Definitely starting to gain a control over this game now. Obviously, Atakan going their way. You know, grant some a pretty decent buff, obviously. A little bit of poke coming on there, but not going to find much. But they will recall. That's exactly
And good
what they
timing
needed.
as well. The Aphelios guns were red and white when that fight started. Very dangerous to play into. Doesn't quite have enough for his LDR just yet, but he is super close to getting that second crit item, getting the armor pen to really chunk through this Ornn with the help of his Aatrox. Across the rest of the map, Darius is going to start to fall off just that little bit. The Yomu's Flake been and gone. Deadman's play is there to help him run at his opponents. Looking elsewhere, Talia Syndra, I have to say, very Syndra favored right now. Super close to a 3rd item Void Staff already in this game. 23 minutes in, approaching that 3rd item. The Corki still not at that Manamune or Muramana spike. Back up to top side. One of the GA is going to be put to the test.
Now Xeno battling a 2v1, looking on top, but unfortunately make it a 3v1 now.
3v1.
Does pop his ult. I mean, this poor guy, his lifesteal is so strong, but unfortunately will go down. That will be a withdrawal. They do force that one out. 200 gold going to the side of OnlyWinByFF.
Got to get a counterplay here. You've made them spend 3 players' time on top
gotta get
side
this
for this
turret.
long.
You have to get this turret, but the TP will be used. Now, they just need to try and burn down this turret. Yes, they will.
TP got cancelled.
Oh, wow.
It must have been on TP. Talia didn't have hers available. I think Scatter the Weak connected onto Marcos, and Scarget now in the bush deep. Gonna force Captain Quinn away.
Having a
Nice
little bit of
chunk as
damage.
well.
Now, do you need to try and just obviously, getting that mid turret
Hello.
has helped
What are
with
you
it
doing
massively. But Zixo caught in no man's land. We are going to see the TP coming
No,
out.
not an engage angle.
Not the engage angle indeed. I mean, obviously, Renata
LSE can't
able
be
to
fighting
keep
this
them
without
alive.
the ADC. It's just 4v5. GAs are falling off as well. Why?
This
They're
is
still going
not
for this?
ideal,
Do they
but
have
to be
this?
fair, we are seeing a lot of kills going both ways. Zeno needs to try and land a little bit of stun onto Marcos. Marcos falling really, really low, but will be shut down. That Darius so
Why are they forcing
fed.
that play?
Uh,
You're minus ADC. You cannot afford to force that play and lose such a key fight in this situation. Baron spawning in 15 seconds. Unlikely that OnlyWin are going to be able to get it here. But going for it at all there from LSE is near suicidal, if I'm honest. Like, the whole game, they just coin flipped on a 4v5. And they're now overstaying bot lane, in mid as well.
they are overstaying mid, and they will be absolutely punished for it. I mean, that Darius just so fed
Now
right
they can go Baron.
It's true, they can get. It's a free Baron. They have given it away. I mean, 6 kills on that Darius, just able to pretty much decimate anyone that steps within a melee range of him. He's just so fed.
Not going to take the Baron in the end, but I'm shocked as to why LSE decided that was the time to risk their whole game. Ornn had just used his ult, so I guess they're down their main engage, but they don't need engage if you're going to engage onto them for them. Captain Quinn able to pilot his Alistair so well, keeping himself alive with the Unbreakable Will, able to put out so much CC, really turning the fight in his team's favor when they had that extra champ there, as we seem to have hit a spectator bug.
Just a slight pause there, chat. We do apologise. Obviously, typical indie small Riot Club. Just small indie company moment. I can't be honest. Fortunately, Riot, throughout the numerous years their game has been around since 2009, they still have not been able to fix a spectator client. I think do bear with us though, quite slightly. But this is a really crucial point in the game. Obviously, definitely Lodestar, fumbling a little bit. That fight was not ideal. It just was not ideal at all. Obviously, they didn't have that withdrawal, and they're fighting a 4v5. But yeah, I think that we will have a little bit of a tech pause there. But obviously, that was just. I mean, I'm speechless. Honestly, I am. I mean, Lodestar.
I'm angry
back
on
and
behalf
forth.
of Lodestar
Yeah,
for that engage.
yeah. I definitely don't think that was the play.
Don't know why that is the hill they've decided to die on. Of all the times to put your foot down and really try to make a fight,
That
a
was not it.
45 when you're
Yeah.
minus ADC, you just use Renata roll and it hasn't hit anything. You don't need to go chasing it
Yeah.
into the melee range of the Darius. It's a completely baffling fight that Lodestar, for some reason, chose to take. And the fact that it only cost them kills is not much more than luck at the end of the day. It'll cost them a bit of gold. It costs them a bit of pressure on the map. It doesn't cost them the Baron. If it did, this is likely second game to only win. The synergy just doesn't seem to be there right now for Lodestar Academy. They have the hands. They just don't have the communication, the teamwork that they need to really get their way through these games in this tough group they're playing in.
I couldn't agree more. I think that Lodestar just need time to just relax and chill. And, to be fair, how beneficial it is for them that we have a slight tech pause. I think that, it's definitely that point in the game where I think that Lodestar have just overstepped their boundaries a little bit once again. We did see it in the last game, that last fight up in the Baron Fit. Baron Pit. That's just, it's got the same sort of vibe around that. And obviously it didn't cost them the Baron, but they just need to be careful. They need to make sure they engage when, like you said, they've got an ADC. They don't continue to chase lost causes. And I think that's what really sort of cost them a little bit. But, you know, they're still in this game. I think that basically how they work around that fight now in response to that, they just got to play a little bit more safe, a little bit more smarter. Obviously, that Darius is unbelievably fed. We need some kills on that Aphelios in order for him to have a say in this game. But you know, it's difficult. It is really difficult.
Yeah.
Absolutely difficult.
I'm just the way they take that fight.
Yeah.
It feels like in their heads they lose the scaling game. I'm not sure that's the case.
No.
You have an Aphelios. He scales so well, as do all ADCs that go the kind of crit on hit type of build. Both of them, both those kind of prototypes of ADCs scale great. Corki is not one of those. He scales in his own way, and he doesn't have the range that someone like the Aphelios has.
Yeah.
You can really push those advantages. You have a Syndra in the side lane going late. You have an Aatrox into an Ornn. That is a winning matchup, and it will only get more winning as items get on to both of these champs.
Yeah.
There is no rush to be making these plays that just gave over 2,000 gold. Your GAs had fallen. If the idea was, okay, we're going to go throw away our GAs, try and get a kill on the way out, and then we'll reset onto the map, that would have been fine, but it had to be done a minute earlier than it was.
I couldn't agree more. Like, I think that, like you said, they're rushing. They just need to relax a little bit, just play the game slower. I think that a little bit of their mindset's just not in the right place, and their priorities aren't in the right sort of place. But you know, they have conducted decent fights throughout this game. They just need to regather that sort of same focus and energy, and hopefully, you know, bring that around. Obviously, that Darius throughout the game will get less and less and less deadly, but it's just about right now. It's just about picking the smart fights and picking the winnable fights to take. But yeah, I think that, you know, it's not over yet. And obviously Lodestar do have absolute potential. You know, they're a fantastic team. Xeno, Skagen have been fantastic throughout. But there we go. We will be back in game.
Wow.
We did miss a slight
3-4 minutes or so. We've gone from 26-minute mark to about the 30-minute mark in this game. But we are back in. Bot tier 1 finally falls. And Baron is also on the side of LSE. They have turned this around. When we were talking last, they were about 1,000, 2,000 gold in the hole. They've managed to find the fights that they needed to find. And now with the Baron, Syndra close to Rabadon's as well. This is looking a whole lot better all of a sudden.
Absolutely. I mean, they're going to march forward with this Baron buff here. They'll look to try and claim this bot tier 2. But no, they won't. They'll just back out. I mean, Xeno's still pushing mid. Trying to get some of them minions. Oh, is it just
unless the Aatrox didn't have it? He does not have Baron buff right now. Weaver's Wall invested just to scare him away. I think Baron has literally just fallen.
Baron has just fallen. Unlucky. I mean, it is interesting. Obviously, like coming into this, both teams. It's been back and forth. It's been a very, very tight match, and you know we've seen out of nowhere Lodestar get a Baron and push really, really far, getting claimed 5 turrets in the meantime. I mean,
yeah, I mean, while you're pointing out this Aphelios, who needed to be stronger, we've neglected the fact that he is somehow not the weakest ADC in this lobby right now.
No, he's not. The Corki is, which is really, really strange to see.
Both of them stuck on 2 items at the 31-minute mark. Neither able to output as much as they want onto the Rift. Aphelios still looking to get to his IE. Corki only just picked himself up, and Executioner's calling. Level 14 as well, compared to level 17 Darius running around this jungle.
I mean, that Ornn building are looking to build a lot of healing, more tankiness. We'll look to try and build that unending despair. A lot of healing coming from that. But You know, Xeno working towards his 4th item. Just really, really strong, I think, overall. Well, for both
There is
teams,
the IE as well
obviously.
for the Aphelios.
Yeah.
That's big.
The Lodestar, they've got an even spread. You know, there's kills across the board. And to be fair, I think some of you to sort of highlight is Angelbot. 0 deaths, by the way. Which is really, really good, considering, you know, last game they did die a lot. Now, Captain Quinn
Unbreakable
caught out
Will,
a
you
little
can't
bit
go
here.
deep on this, but they're looking to push. I believe Dragon is spawning in just about a minute's time. I see the grey timer maybe even synced up with the Baron spawn. We have no idea what the soul looks like. Unfortunately, our overlay has completely reset everything apart from the Atakan when that fell. Marcos already half HP, gonna go deeper.
It'll be shut down a little bit, but we are going to see the All-Ultimate coming through. A healthy
Oh,
knock-up.
what a
with the
hostile
Renato.
takeover!
Absolutely beautiful hostile takeover. Really, really good follow-up. Xeno's there to try and get some stuns off. This Darius, Susanna caught in a little bit of spot above. Will get the jump.
The blast cone.
Yeah, the blast cone away. I mean, fortunately, like, that is a really good fight. That is a really good fight for Lodestar. Puts them massively ahead in terms of gold. They managed to get decent picks there.
Yeah, I mean,
The
that
reverse
all
sweep
comes
is
down.
on.
Syndra 2k up, Skargan kind of gapping Christoph in this one right now. 4 items on the board. Tliat fell in that fight. It felt like the Syndra was there just as a bit of bait, if I'm honest. Skargan walking forward a little bit dangerously at the start of that fight to kind of bait that engage. Marcos turns around and the hostile takeover hits onto 3 of them, all locked in place, and the overwhelming damage suddenly comes in. Both teams attacking the same team. It's kind of a 2v0
Yeah.
instead of a 1v1.
I mean, to be honest, that was just a fantastic hostile takeover there. You know, I think we rarely do much spotlights on support players, but Angelbot has been fantastic this game. Oh, well, 0 kills, 0 deaths, importantly. 0 deaths, 8 assists, exactly what you want to see for your support. On fire this game. Just showed it there with a fantastic hostile takeover that pretty much guaranteed them 2 kills. Now they will be looking potentially for this
their
Baron.
Baron presence is huge right now.
Yeah.
Great vision in the jungle. Unable to really sweep out FF's vision themselves, but they don't really need to. Able to force Ornn, not able to stick around the side lane. Weaver's Wall early into this one as well. Oh my god, and
Oh
that's
my
a
goodness.
dead Angelbot.
Angelbot, I said it too soon, will be found. The All-Ultimate coming through.
They're so split.
They are really, really split. Skargan out of nowhere. Xeno caught in no man's land. Will be punished, and potentially this could be the Baron.
How are they so split?
I don't understand how they were so split. I think that
That
It was
Baron
just-
heads over. Lodestar cannot contest this with Captain Quinn so close on his heels. Headbutt used on the clone, but pulverized on the main Wukong.
but unfortunately that will be Baron going for
And they're going to go deeper as well.
OnlyWinByFF. They will continue this sort of charge forward. Now, they need to get a decent amount of turrets here, WinByFF. They need to crack open this mid lane. I mean, I'm pretty sure they will now. Obviously,
Mid to one definitely going.
only 3 turrets for them now compared to Lodestar's 5. Potentially could see more and more and more piling up. Zixo just able to contest this on a little bit. Not going to get the demolish off. But they do have that small cannon just shooting away. Now, we are going to see a lot more defensive play coming from Lodestar here. So, it's definitely a time for them to just calm down a little bit. Maybe work towards potentially sort of, if I'm not mistaken, if they don't, did he have Cloud Soul? I don't think they do. I don't think they have Soul yet.
It's another Ocean Dragon spawning, at least
Yeah.
according to our top right. I'll trust it when I see it loading onto the rift.
Yeah.
We will find out who has soul when we hear the soul being claimed, I think. We know OnlyWinByFF have at least 2. LSE have at least 2. It could be 3-3. This could be soul for both teams spawning right now. We just don't know. That's a -1. I hate to see it.
Lodestar, I mean, still in this game, holding on really well. I mean, they're not really pushing much with this Baron buff. I mean, if only win by FF, they're not pushing much.
They are scared of getting engaged on.
Yeah.
Wukong can pop out of any odd angle. They can just use their waves to slowly get this down. They have another minute on this Baron. Already equalized the gold lead perfectly. Were 5k down. They are now even, or close to being even, with Lodestar Academy. If they can get this turret, it will be the even game. There's going to be 5 members met by 5 on this side of the map right now. Both teams have to be careful. LSE lose a fight under this turret, that will be game. Heading the other way. If this is Soul that is spawning in 50 seconds time, OnlyWinByFF cannot afford to throw their game on a bot tier 2 push with their Baron.
That Baron having 30 seconds left. Probably not gonna. Probably will be the maximum they'll probably get out of this push. I don't think they will get this tier 2.
Nice yoink by the Syndra to get that cannon under the turret, get it killed faster. One final wave, Aphelios, the Moonlight Vigil. He has the blue form ready when he wants to use it. Corki is deep.
Cena will land onto that Corki, but will be followed up with the rest of the team. Cena does use the flash away, tries to stay alive, will get a little bit of healing.
That's going to nullify the Baron at least.
Yeah.
Baron has ended a 5k diff at the end of it. Lonely sealed out a little bit far ahead.
A little bit far ahead.
But his clone is the one that's caught.
But the hostile takeover does manage to land in. But the Ornal threat will be pushed out, and to be fair, it will deal a reasonable chunk of damage. But other than that, they're still in this fight. Lodestar, they will look to try and push forward a little bit. Xeno really needs to just basically land on top of this Corki. This Corki needs to be punished.
They're not going to find it back of the pit.
Oh, but the Ornn is so low. Marco, how on earth he lives there?
Playing a dangerous game as Marcos on the 3-item Ornn. Going to be able to TP back into the mid-wave. Reclaim his push. Both teams sending their solo lanes back to the fountain. Get yourself some HP. Get back in this fight. This is the key fight in this game. Whoever wins this likely to take down this map
and
as they go for the gate.
In. The rock's being used. Xeno right in the front of the Darius' face. Needs to try and get a couple of combos in, but in the meantime, the Ornn is in the back. Oh my god, he's in the back lines, and he's just absolutely melted everyone. This Ornn has finally scaled, and he's just dealing so much damage. That was like a 4-man
knock-up.
That was a massive knock-up coming from the Ornn. Zixo falling really low. Angelbot really low. Skygut will go down, and that will be 5-man dead for Lodestar, and only win by FF. Able to just live, but unfortunately Captain Quinn not gonna deny. Well, what? No, sorry, will deny.
Not gonna deny himself.
Yeah. Captain Quinn will chase Angelbot. Poor
symbiotic
Angelbot.
souls, unable to get the recall.
Stagger going on here. Not enough damage by Captain Quinn, but we'll get a repeated stagger onto Angelbot.
Combat. The Nexus is falling in a couple of seconds. Mid-inhib has gone. We'll bring you an update on the Sportal Combat if the Alistar is able to do anything to this poor Renata. But I think the game might end before that can happen, unless they delay. No, the Renata got some healing.
They will absolutely follow up and end the game. Unfortunately for Lodestar, that will be an 0-2 defeat, but credit where credit is due. Only win by FF, showing why they're the top team in this group. Excellent play all around. I mean, that last fight, we talked about that engage from the Ornn, and he absolutely proved it. A 4-man knockup. We saw Xeno go in, but the Ornn just went in as well. It just it discombobulated the entire Lodestar backline, and unfortunately, that's kind of what cost them the game a little bit. That Ornn was just so well used. I mean, we didn't see much from him throughout the game, but
and we talked about the difference between engage and disengage, right?
Yeah.
The engage, you can go when you want. And Ornn wanted to go. Ornn went, and Ornn clapped.
Yeah.
On the other end, you can't disengage if the engage never comes. You're waiting. If it just doesn't get there, you're waiting on tenterhooks for something that might not ever happen. It happened in the end. Too slow to react Ornn headbutting into the wall, headbutting better than an Alistair, dare I say. Comes in, 4-man knock-up, hostile takeover, just takes too long to get out. Handshake unavailable when he's unstoppable. And there's just nothing you can really do to stop that. Unless you have the trigger finger on something like the Cyclone of the Wukong, you have to find a way to delay and push back. It just wasn't there. And
No.
in the end, a great team fight and a great win by OnlyWin.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And I think that hopefully we'll be, if you are present in chat, the poll will be coming up pretty shortly. Do go and vote for your MVP. Obviously, it's very, very hard to call. I would like to say honorable mentions to AngelBot. I did give them the commentator's curse, but unfortunately,
Yeah, it was instant. As soon as you said that, they died.
Yeah,
in the next
I know.
fight.
I know. It's crazy. It's absolutely.
At least
crazy,
they didn't die at the end.
True. They lived. Only one death on a support, which I think is really, really good. And AngelBot played really well in that last game. Some of them hostile takeovers were fantastic. But unfortunately, it just wasn't quite there for Lodestar today, and that will be, only win by FF on
Only
top.
winning.
Only winning, absolutely. It's. I think they may have broken their team names promise, but
Yeah, well, unfortunately, no FFs in these tournaments. People have the correct amount of honor, ready to fight until the bitter end, and it's going to be bitter coming out from Lodestar Academy. They had their chances. Some of them were given to them. Some of them they manufactured themselves. They had the opportunities within those games to really push a lot more, take a lot more than they were given. Unfortunately, unable to come out with the victory today. But I think in lieu of a MVP, we'll just head over to a little break, I reckon, as we get ready for our second best of 2 of the game. Heading over to the SOL Div 2 now, after this.
Hello and welcome back. Just a short little break there. Now, I think our attention has turned a little bit. We've got Mattsons Änglar versus Bergmans Fisk. Definitely, I think pretty much most people can appreciate just these two teams. They are, very, very nice, entertaining teams. Obviously, just basically high. I've commentated on some of their games before, and let's just say Ligma Grindset, a player that has always stuck with me, an absolute fantastic top laner, mid laner, and coming into this, I think he's going to be feeling pretty confident. Strong player, but coming into this, I think, what are your overall thoughts, Rue?
My overall thoughts are both of these teams need to win 2-0.
Yeah.
Looking at the group, it is currently 12 points to get into the top 4. Only the top 4 teams from our groups will make it into the quarterfinals in SOL Div 2. Both of them, after 10 games, only got 2 wins, sat on 4 points. They need to find a way up to 12. They're going to have to both win out, otherwise they will be out. They might already be out if other teams are able to get a single win. CD All-Stars or Land Dodgers just need 1 win apiece to block out both of our teams that are playing today. This could end up just being a for pride game. If it is, I want to see some playing for pride.
Absolutely.
You know?
Let's see it. I mean,
I
we
want
are
to see
going to
pride
see
on the line.
some pride picks. I mean, obviously, we're going to see that Skarner,
Skarner.
that Scorpion
Yeah,
you hate, is gone. He's not going to make
I'm
an
proud,
appearance
I'm proud.
today. We are going to see the likes of the Karma, the Senna being banned. Actually, I love
That's
a
an
bit
odd
of
choice.
Senna. I think
I'm gonna have to look up what's been going on down there. The Senna. Okay, you know what? The bot lane of Mattsons Anglar has got a casual 93 games on Senna this split.
wow.
57% win rate. Playing it down in sport, 3.55 KDA on 93 games. A very solid pick. Taken away as we see the Vi also solid. Taken first.
I mean, we are going to see the likes of the Ezreal being banned as well in the meantime, and the Wukong as well. Now, Bergmans Fisk locking in on that Vi to start off with. That Vi.
Is this
Who
going to be
knows?
Kog'Maw Lulu?
Pardon?
Is this just going to be Kog'Maw Lulu coming out
I think
straight away?
potentially. I think it might be. I mean, Cogmore, just great range on that champion in the bot lane. Obviously, the Lulu there just to keep him afloat. I mean, yeah. I think you called it. I think you
I'm doing the
absolutely
job
called
today.
it, and I think we will see it. You're on fire today with these predictions. Absolutely solid.
Bro, that pick ban rate is crazy. What
Yeah,
is
it
this
is.
champion?
It is. Lulu's such a
47%.
crazy support.
Yeah, I can't believe that they banned Senna and Karma and not the Lulu.
Yeah.
Chunghwa has 4 main champs that they've played this season. Senna, Karma, Janna, and Lulu. And you're going to take away the Senna, he's played it the most, understandable. But choosing to get rid of the Karma over something as powerful as the Lulu is right now, they have to have a plan as Bergmans Fisk going into this. Because if they don't have a solid plan before the draft even started, they're going to be picked apart by this bot lane. And it feels like Vi Ahri is a nice combo,
Yeah.
but Varus being left alone, you can really take away some of his choices for friends in that bot lane.
He's going to
into
need
the
some
final
peel.
rotation.
He's going to need a lot of peel, that Varus. I mean, I think maybe you can expect maybe a sort of Braum. Even, to be fair, a Tahm Kench could be quite useful. But we are going to see that Sins out in the meantime. Obviously, great
Not a big fan
engage.
of that.
Just a solid jungler all around, to be honest.
A decent jungle. I think I'd have liked to seen mid be taken here before it can really
Yeah.
get pinched. We expect Mattsons Anglar to be taking top R5. You can force it to be blinded by Bergman's Fisk right now. You can even take away some of those more annoying blindable top laners if you want to. Camille, not typically seen as one of
No.
those, has very solid counter matchups with things like the Jax. But I guess you don't want to face the possibility that it gets banned last by Bergman's Fisk. An odd choice to ban the Camille there. I'm not really sure about that, but I think I would have liked to see Mattsons take a mid laner before that pull against the Ahri really gets pinched.
Of course, we are going to see that Aurora being banned as well. That just any ranged top laner, but then again, we can see that Aurora mid as well. So that reduces the mid options just a little bit. Now, what do you expect to see next? Obviously, I think we might see... Oh, a support ban. Okay. Not what I was expecting. A Rakan being banned.
I
Obviously
like the
maybe-
Rakan. Their
Yeah.
dive is too good if you don't ban the Rakan right now.
Yeah.
Looking at this, the Vi, the Ahri combo already, if you are expecting something as diveable as the Rakan, especially when your ADC themselves is so immobile, whatever comes in that top lane is likely to get on top with that dive. Maybe even something to help from a distance, like the Rumble with an equalizer, especially into something like when you're playing the Cogmore.
Yeah.
You're looking to chunk through and you destroy the tanks if they stay around too long. If there's no tanks to burst, then it could be a nice counter action, as it looks like Victor will be taken into this RE.
I mean, I think a decent mid lane matchup there. Obviously, to be fair, I think Victor just amazing poke, a very solid mid laner all around, lots of damage.
Another good side lane threat as well.
Yeah,
the side lanes
are
gonna be key to this one.
I did potentially call it. If we will see that Braun, yeah, we will see that Braun. A bit of appeal for the Varus even, not Darius. God, I've got trauma from the last game, but a bit of appeal there. And also, to be fair, decent sort of CC as well. Will help sustain that Vi when she goes in. Now, again,
there's the one over the top.
Potentially an Ornn.
Just send it with the Ornn. The tank top gonna feel rough as the game goes on. If you can engage from a distance, call the Forge God, bring him up on speed dial, send the Vi in with the knock-up, could be powerful. Godkin has some counter picks up his sleeve. Kled is his most played. He's a Kled OTP. 88 games this split. In Diamond 1, so close to hitting Master right now. And I have to say, Kled into Ornn does not sound fun for Ornn.
No, not at all. I mean, to be fair, I gotta be honest, this is probably the first time I've seen Godkin play Kled, so I'm really, really hyped up for this. I love a bit of Kled. That Yordle, absolutely insane.
I
mean,
him. It's the most annoying thing to play
so
against.
do I. He's the most misleading champion in the game.
You think you can kill him, and suddenly he's killed you, and you're just standing there in shock as you've managed to die because you thought you were completely fine. He managed to get the dismount under the turret, drops turret aggro for some reason, kills you with ignite. Ugh.
It's just not pleasant. That Ornn is going to be pretty much living under that turret for the vast majority of this game.
Ornn is not having a good time this whole game. If he can get to his late levels, then fair enough. Positives, Varus should be able to go the lethality branch, able to poke at a good range. The dive is so awkward though. You haven't got the most synergy that you'd want with your ADC, right? Vi Ari, very good at going forward, getting the single target CC, getting the cease and desist, and being able to work with that. Varus, if he's stuck at the range that he should be stuck at, he'll find it difficult to reach his chains of corruption. The Ornn can engage from any distance, that's fine. I'd have liked to see something, if you wanted to take it poke like this, I want to say Kai'Sa, but Kai'Sa feels like it's going to do way too much AP with your comp.
Yeah.
Then again, if you're into this type of matchup, who's going to build the MR for Mattsons Angler? I don't think anyone is.
No.
The Varus taken early, it just doesn't have as much synergy with the Vi as I'd like. Coming from the other side, the team fight of Mattsons Angler looks so good.
I mean, you've just got that Kled just being an absolute nuisance. You've got like the Cogmore and Victor poke. I mean, that Lulu's there to support anyone that gets a little bit low, just transform into a massive giant. That Sinzel, really decent engage, will hopefully find his way onto that Varus, and like I said, more follow up from the Kled. But it's a decent draft for both teams. I think that obviously I see where both teams are sort of coming from. Obviously, that Kled that has just put that on a little bit further back in terms of just he's gonna have to play really, really, really safe now. That on, but it's one of them. It can go either way. I mean, we'll have to see how the Ornn plays in game. Obviously, you might get a little bit of support coming from that Vi. I mean, a little bit of top prio coming in there, but it's other than that, I think it's decent draft for both teams. Now, who do you think is going to be our winner for this series?
I think coming out of draft from this game one, I'm looking at it and I'm just I just favor the team that isn't trying to all in with a Varus that isn't going to be able to reach, right?
Yeah,
Think I have to take Mattsons Anglar. Their team feels more synergistic. They have the capabilities to really play the front to back how they want. And when they get dove on, it's going to be rough if it hits on the right targets. But I'm just not sure the Varus is going to have the reach that he needs to have. He's not going to have the free hits, lethal tempo stacks if he goes that route. And if he does go the lethality route, I reckon the Viari might just be engaging a little bit too far away for him to really have that maximum impact as we see these fights transpire. We'll just have to see what happens as we load onto the Rift.
absolutely. We are looking to get into the game. Now, obviously, a bit of support from Mattsons Änglar in the chat. It's good to see it. You love this community, honest to God. Now, you want to see it? A little bit of... I was a little bit confused, I can't lie. Maybe a potential early invade, like McGrind said, just scouting... like just scouting these massive trumble of 5 players coming in. Obviously, Bergmans Fisk just trying something, but they will return to their positions originally. But
they did get a ward onto the red.
Yeah.
Onto the red of Hopper. Could be key just to get that early vision. See where the Zinjao starting. He hasn't even decided where he's starting yet. On the other side, a ward on the Raptor brush. We'll know when that Vi crosses, whether they start on the red side, start on the blue side. Looks like they're going to go bottom to top, going for Hupper, top to bottom for Plaskaran. Bot side, waiting on tender hooks. Both sports, I think they know that each other are in these bushes.
yeah,
The way they're playing, it feels like they do. Ooh, nice dodge.
a nice,
Good
very
sidestep.
clean dodge there by Changhua. I mean, it's just decent play. I mean, you love someone who has feet. You know, like you can just move around. Very nice little dodge there. Now a bit of early poke. This Kled.
Probably in that lane is going to come down to the second wave. They're going to both clear it so fast. It's actually kind of crazy how fast they're clearing that wave. But having a look around the rest of the map, that Victor early trading is nasty.
Nasty.
Level 2, there it comes, but it's going to be matched pretty early. Neither side able to really get an advantage. Both teams, nice early wave clear. And
This poor Ornn is just getting just decimated
Smacked.
already.
Got a wave coming under, so he should be able to match up some of that CS, but he's already down about 5 on the early waves. We expect that to just grow as time goes on. Godkin, unfortunately, missing his little hook, but already the wave going to be pushed under. On level 2, Kled level 3. Not a fun lane to be in. Should be able to match up the CS if he can farm it under the turret, though. It's not the end of the world.
I mean, to be honest, it's just it's really like sort of decent play. I mean, obviously, you know, the Kled still leading on CS just by 1. I mean, it's to be fair to the one, he's doing really well.
If he can neutralize this, he will
Yeah.
overall be probably better for his team. Heading back down to the bot side, nice trade onto the Lulu. Chokwa taken down to about half by the Varus. Early procking of the Blight. Stacking them up, detonating it with that piercing arrow as the Ornn steps a little bit far top.
He gets rid of his chariot. But I can't say the word, but you know, the form where he's riding, but nearly breaks through that a little bit. Shinsao is there, does manage to get the hook away, but
nice
he will
flash.
miss the Q. Good flash away. Pipe not going to find anything there.
He was right there, though. Wind becomes lightning over the wall.
Oh, potentially. We could see a bit of a tower dive. No, not in time.
Towers ramp up so fast, so early now as well. It's just more difficult than it used to be. Scuttle's going to be exchanged in the long run. Did the Vi miss a camp? How was she only at 23 CS?
actually may
Am I
have
crazy?
had a camp stolen, if I'm not mistaken.
By what though?
I think either...
All the camps are off the map. Hupper's only at 27, which means he got all of his plus the crab.
Yeah. Unless
That
someone
grub that
else...
just spawned is... That's an odd. I don't know where the
Yeah,
Vide lost
yeah.
that money from. We're going to move on from that because it's not actually that important. It is just interesting. I'd love to see how that happened.
Oh, wait, no, yeah, because it's the same amount...
Yeah.
Same amount on the Jungle Monster. What the hell? I mean...
Maybe you just missed a lot of like
Yeah.
mini Krugs or something. I have no idea. Both TPs used in top lane like to bring your attention to the summoners in top lane. Both of them have TP, but it's at the cost of Godflin's flash that he has taken at Ignite, and it could be used
Indeed.
already in that trade. We're gonna.
I
He's
don't-
used it. He's used it on the Ornn. He might be able to get the kill.
I
Not
think the Ornn will try and look to
health
recall,
bar
but
is so low.
really,
They
really
go
low
all in bot lane now as well.
on the edge. And they will be looking to go on it. Cogwell...
Two more autos on the Varus would
mana
be
as well.
enough.
Could potentially flip this, actually.
The heal-
flash is used. The heal is used as well.
Wimper's like that hit on the Varus. Oh, but the Ari's
Oh,
there
it's
instead.
excellent follow-up. It's a really, really good gank by the Ari. The charm is used. This will hopefully secure another kill. The Cogwell manages to find one in the meantime onto the Varus. But Hupe, still alive, still dealing a lot of damage.
Vi's there
Will be
too.
potentially punished for this.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
That was good.
Excellent play. And that would secure them the feat of warfare. I mean,
3 kills on an Ari.
Brandstrom, that is fantastic from Brandstrom. I mean, the charms were perfect. It makes sure that Akalupa doesn't die. And, you know, okay, yes, they do, they do lose the Varus, but that doesn't matter because the Ari has 3 kills and they came out on top. That is just really, really strong mid lane play. Like,
That's an Ari who had a chapter before that.
yeah.
She's going to have a blasting wand on this back. Maybe even boots if that's the route that she wants to go. She is already so close to a Malignance if that's the route that she's going. Meanwhile, mid lane, Victor overstaying a little bit there. Chunked out very low. No TP either.
Upe will look
Should
to
be
get
a force away from the grubs, but
his grubs.
he's going to have to walk back into the mid lane now.
We'll get the smite off. I mean, a little bit of safety. I mean, I think that was kind of a shock that's just hit Mattsons on Glare. I mean, obviously, out of nowhere, that Ari came in, a bit like Randy Orton, arcade out of nowhere, and just altered. And
Is that 4 biscuits for BMF
I
on
think
the
it
runes?
might be. I think
They've
it might
all
be.
taken inspiration as their second choice, and 4 of them have biscuits.
You just think
They've either
though,
biscuits, boots, or the Cosmic Insight.
Yeah.
That is insane.
you do think that Plaskeren is like just being there to just be, different. I mean, like the Cosmic Insight instead of the biscuit when everyone else has
Jungle.
them. Oh, but a sight invade,
goodbye.
and that will be another
Double kill.
for that Ari. Potentially
Oh,
even more. Ligma Grindset caught out in the middle of nowhere. The Ari is non-stop. Triple kill. Oh my goodness.
The Spirit Rush. Every single time he uses it, he gets 3 kills.
Absolutely insane. Brandstrom on fire. I mean,
He's got Malignance when he
Yeah.
backs, by the way. Those 3 kills, more than enough to get himself that item. He can get Malignance and Lucidity Boots at 8 minutes into this game. Ari is going to snowball so fast.
that is not ideal for Mattsons on there. I mean, they've just got to be really, really, really careful. I mean,
Is there such a thing as being careful into a Malignance Lucidity Boots Ari?
to be fair, if she's able to just invade a jungle like she just did there, walk so freely around the map, then
Ooh, ult to
Sure.
disengage from Godkin. Felt a little bit scared.
yeah.
Question mark pings coming out from Rail the Mail. I love to see that.
Could have potentially been a fat finger, you never know, but it's not.
I just love the question mark pings on a guy that can't see that you're question mark pinging him. It's
Yeah.
it's such a boss move.
Mattsons Angler though, not ideal start.
And
This
that's
far into
that's
the
an
game.
all-in tool that has gone for Godkin as well. Hopper is up here. They know they have no vision after sweeping out that single brush. But he might have been spotted by the Ornn. Could look for the dive, but likely just a reset.
We'll just like, yeah, like you said, slight recall there. I mean, if you're Ligma grind set here in lane, how safe are you trying to play this? I mean, obviously,
Hiding, cowering under the tower safe.
And we will see the Ahri getting that Dark Seal as well. I mean, why not when you're 6-0?
The issue is that you're forced to hide under this tower, but if you hide under the tower, she has the ability to just roam wherever she wants.
Yeah.
So you're almost forced to play for the Prio, hope that your jungler can get there at the right time. But then the Ahri has things like the Spirit Rush just to avoid. Things that her flash just come back off cooldown as well.
And look how fast she clears that wave, and she is pathing a little bit topside, looking for that cleared. No, she did think about it, but no, she did think about it. She will head away back down to mid lane, but Ornn uses TP to try and get back to lane. Kleb will recall, and Grub's potentially coming up soon. It's just
nothing to come of that roam, but it's going to be happening on every single wave from here on in. Ligma Grindset not going to have enough wards to keep track of this Ahri for very long. Already being swept out by the Vi on the top side rush as well. Allows for the next roam to come out after that wave is pushed. He's got 20 seconds to do whatever he wants for. He has to get back to go clear that mid wave. In the meantime, fighting happening over the Raptors pit.
Oh, will be another invade, but that Ahri's approaching.
Oh my
and
God.
a charm, and absolutely destroyed.
At least the Ahri didn't get the kill.
True, that is true. But that is one stack onto the Dark Seal.
Yeah, it's 1, not 2. Woohoo!
True. I mean,
oof.
Oh my goodness.
I wonder what she goes next. I mean, having an item already, and having an item for 3 minutes already is so different. We're seeing the rest of the items starting to flood onto the Rift. Sunfire Aegis into Eclipse top. And that looks to be the Horizon focus build. Going with a Codex coming out of spawn. TPing back to the midwave. Consistent pressure. Victor just now going to reset for a Blackfire Torch. No boots. No pathway to a next item. Just about got his first. He's got a Dark Seal. That's optimistic.
It's been a very, very, it's just strong start here. Mattsons Änglar could potentially make up a little bit of gold back. Getting that Ocean Drake there.
And it will delay the soul by 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Whatever happens for BMF, their soul win con is 5 minutes slower. However, with an Ahri this fed, I don't think that soul is your only win con anymore. Because as long as she doesn't die, she has she has a 550 gold bounty right now. As the top side all in is occurring. Both of these champs just kind of smacking each other a little bit. Kind of for the sake of it.
Does force
Going back to it, the Ahri will only remain this strong, right? She will just get stronger with kills, and the snowball is real. If you can turn back the wheels for red side right now, there are ways back into this, but it's just not easy. Into an Ahri with 6 kills, perma roam. Hupper scared to walk into the enemy jungle. It's just rough. It's just rough. That wave clear as well is nasty.
It's very intriguing. Obviously, this bot lane has remained the quietest place, the chillest place out of all places on the Rift. I mean, to be fair, so is that top lane as well. Ornn getting a Sunfire Aegis first item with the plated steel cap boots, but the mid lane is it's so one-sided. I mean, 1.9.
And it's not even his fault.
No, it's not.
That's the worst part.
He's
just
just
0-1-0. He's getting 2 triple kills on roams into bot side and into jungle. What do you even do as the mid laner?
You just hope you don't get question mark pinged. I mean, God can
With
get
voice
a little
comms
bit
as well.
early trade there, but not going to find much. Oh, but
And,
another
yeah.
invade. Hupe just not able to farm at all. We're trying to look to get away, but the stun is there. The follow-up
Nice
from
comes
the
lighting.
Brawn
That's cool.
ultimate. Potential
Don't
tower
dive
dive
this.
coming in here.
Oh.
The Vi does go in. Will be charmed.
Do dive this.
And another kill.
I was not optimistic about that dive. I didn't think they had the damage, but I forgot that it's 7 kill Ari now,
Yep.
and therefore she has that damage. 2.2k gold lead, another roam. If she meets up with her jungle, with her support, the red side jungle is no longer the red side jungle. It's an extension of the blue side jungle. Plaska and Plaska's just going to have a great
Yep.
time for the rest of this game.
Oh,
Anything he wants to
absolutely.
do, it's just free.
I mean, you do have to feel for Hooper here because, like, you know, he's a little bit far behind.
Does Colmore stay too long? He's got hit by Raw
No,
passive,
he's
but he's
just-
going to look to turn this.
He will look
The
to
Victor
turn
has
this.
got the roam
The
instead
Victor
now.
is coming down.
Nice
I don't
stun.
think
Oh
we'll
my
find
god.
much, but not able to get a CC off. But the ult that is used for the Victor does force the barrier and will go down. Good poke, but unfortunately the Poppy gets the kill. Not ideal for Mattsons on
Here
Glare,
comes
but
Vi.
meanwhile,
Here comes
this
Ari.
is in. But meanwhile,
Charm
a
miss.
shutdown onto the Vi. Decent play. Ari continues to farm. Can she stay alive? But she will go down. It's a shutdown for the Cogmore. Exactly what they needed. Mattsons on Glare finding a way back into this game. That is what they needed, Rue.
That is what they needed, but it comes at a terrible cost. Ari up to 9 kills, already Horizon focus, already everything is scary. Topside Godkin needs to stay alive in this play, otherwise it will be worse. Ornn so close to finishing off that kill, but the ready to remount is Godkin. Safe enough in the end. The money went exactly where it's wanted. Cogmore now 1.7k in the lead by virtue of that 1,000 gold shutdown found on the Brandstrom. Slasher is living his best life. Unfortunately, only at the one item. The Ari is at 2.5.
Oh my goodness. I mean, you know, it is good that the Cogmore did get these items, and obviously the Victor a couple more assists. But I do think that it's still not ideal, you know, massively not ideal considering how fed that Ari is. But we only see another gank in the mid lane. The charm is once again used, but that combo will be burnt straight down.
Yeah, that didn't last long. We were optimistic for a while there, weren't we?
Absolutely. It lasted like 20 seconds.
It felt nice. It felt nice.
It did, it did.
Hextech Drake spawning. BMF gonna get their second towards the soul. Mattsons were able to delay their soul by 5 minutes, so we are still 10 minutes away from that seemingly eventuality, because it doesn't feel like it's really up in the air right now. It feels like it's just gonna happen. It's a matter of when. First turret likely to fall in the bot lane as well. Smoke. I'm struggling with these names. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the left-hand side of my screen, and none of these are letters that go next to each other. But the Varus, we'll stick with the Varus for now.
Yeah.
Likely to get the first turret, as Cogmore could be caught out here.
Potentially caught out.
The
Does
turret's
manage to get
already
the
gone.
slow
Why are
off.
you walking up to the turret?
Oh no. Slayer just unfortunately caught in the middle of no man's land. Not going to find much. I mean, does go down unfortunately, and that will provide another
Yeah.
kill to is it Plaskeren on that Vi. I mean, she
It's
is
dangerous.
relatively fed. Godkin landing a bit of damage onto Wraithamil, but not gonna find much.
His all-in damage not quite enough just yet. Has the ignite. Gonna deny the crafting of the Thormail, which I think Rail the Mayo has on top side. Ult invested, ignite
Ult
under
invested,
tower,
good
flying
play.
all over the place.
But
Wow.
will find the kill, and it's
Okay.
a shutdown. But unfortunately, Plaskeren is managed to be there, and the Ari
Money
finds
to
another
the
kill.
Ari.
Not ideal there for Godkin. Does ever so well to get the kill, but unfortunately, that Ari is there, and
Yeah.
Plaskeren once again. I mean, the map control that BMF have is just crazy.
So, How long until Brandstrom has a Rabadons?
I
Because
mean,
it doesn't feel like it's going to be long.
halfway there, pretty much. Oh, and it's not ideal as Hupe does lose out.
Crescent Guard going to keep
Ever
him
so
alive.
slightly, but will be punished
Until-
once again. That Varus
come on.
manages to get
Okay.
2, followed up with that Ari finding a third. Ligma grinds that, trying to make his way back to his turret just to say, no, you're not going to kill me today. I'm going to hopefully live under turret for the next minute. But that Ari is 12-1. Absolutely not ideal. Brandstrom,
Brawl Court?
unfortunately, Godkin needs to
Nope.
be a little bit careful here. Not going to find much. And that
And there's a
Ari is
turret
just
as
solo
well.
top. Yeah.
Okay. Is there a single way Mattsons either can actually get back into this one? Like, is there a single way?
I think there is.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Lay it out for me.
Just not.
Does it involve Xin Zhao
dying.
Flash? Because Xin Zhao has no Flash.
No, it does not.
Okay.
It involves not dying and not taking
Right.
fights. And also not trying to recall in like a warded bush in
Yeah, that would be
the
useful.
opponent's jungle.
Yeah.
I do think that if they just land some form of CC onto that Ari, they'll be able to just eventually burst her down. But she's so mobile
Can
at
they
the
reach her
minute.
with CC, though? Like,
No,
she already walks into a gravity well as she wants to. 3 dashes on the Spirit Rush, resetting. And there is the cap, by the way. Fancy
Yeah.
hat on the Ari. 3 items, 20 minutes, including the most expensive item in the game. Giga fed right now.
Absolutely.
10 stacks and Dark Seals. Could get another effective full item.
I
if,
would love
the-
to know how much AP she is currently on. It's got to be around about 300 or 400,
Maybe even more.
potentially.
Hyper
But who
caught out by a cease and desist. TP
Oh,
by Brandstrom to try and get an assist wasn't even close. Already falling. BMF don't even need the Ari right now to
No,
get the
they
kills.
don't.
This is scary.
I mean, Hupe is just so far behind. His jungle has just been stolen from the get-go. I mean, his jungle's been invaded. He's 0-5-1. Unfortunately, not the game for him. To be fair, Brandstorm has just been able to just absolutely farm. I think we are having a little bit of tech issues
Yeah.
with, once again, Riot Games, the
Spectator
world's
client.
biggest small indie company. But I hate to say this, but I do think it might be GG's already. That Ari has just put a team so far ahead. You know, it's not ideal, but
Looking at that freeze frame, 4.4k gold lead
Yeah.
in the lane. 3 full items. The Victor on the other side has a little torch he's holding up. And you're playing into Malignance, Horizon Focus, Rabadons, a fully stacked Dark Seal, ready to turn into Magi's at a moment's notice.
yeah,
It is near impossible to actually turn this game around. The only way you can do it is by killing the Ari multiple times consecutively. And once, sure, it happened, right?
yeah.
They killed her once. But she's also got 5 more kills since they killed her.
It's just overwhelmingly in favor of BMF, and it's I don't, I like to be an optimist, but unfortunately I'm too English to also not be a realist, and unfortunately I don't think this is a winnable game for Mattsons.
I'd love to be proven wrong. I really
Absolutely,
would. I would
absolutely,
love
yeah.
for there to be a world in which this game is like actually winnable. But I don't think that's the world that we live in. It sounds like we are getting back into things. Hopefully it won't be too much long before we're
Hopefully.
able to get the game back on our screens, but it feels like a matter of time before the Ari just kills the Nexus.
Indeed, I think I just heard a little bit of a Kled stream there, off camera. But hopefully we will get back into game pretty shortly. But it's just it's pretty dire. but unfortunately, I just had a fast recall. That may be a potential Baron potentially being taken there. But I'm not sure, honest to goodness. But, yeah, I think Mattsons and Glenn might need to just reset their mental and just hopefully go again next lane. They can't.
Reset the mental, ban Ari.
Yeah, no, true,
Two
absolutely.
components to bring into the next one. I didn't expect the Ari to be this much about like crazy pick. Brandstrom hasn't been playing it this well this season. 200 LP Master, only 9 games on the Ari, won 4, lost 5, and not an outstanding KDA, but it is one of these camps. If you get an early roam down to the top 5, like he did, it can really snowball one of these this game round. And there we see damage that has been dealt already.
Yeah,
Now up to an 8.5k gold lead. Hex soul spawning on the next rate. And if there's one soul that Ari doesn't need, but would absolutely love to have, it's a Hex soul.
yeah. It's just, it's not ideal. I mean, to be fair, I was just about to point that's the first time Hooper has actually taken a red buff without being contested. But then again, they're in the jungle.
Someone else can
There's
be
no
contested
place to
instead.
hide. The Cogmore does go down. Unfortunately, this potentially could be it. You're going to see the Ornn Ultimate come out. Not going to find much, but the Ari is so high on damage, as well as that Vi. And potentially, this could be it. It's just declared all by himself to defend. That turret is being absolutely melted. You're going to see just, obviously the Ornn does have demolished. If we have to just demolish these turrets here, we'll be able to tank
Cogmore
as
up in
well.
15. Can they end? They think they can.
I think they will, to be honest.
Kledo in over the top, just trying to do something, anything, to stay alive. But it will be. That is, I believe, mathematically out of contention now.
A 25-minute game, an absolute stomping. But, for BMF, this is what they need. We spoke about where they are in the tournament. They need some wins. Mattsons Änglar, unfortunately, not to get, not to start the game off well, but I think.
Yeah. It's just it is just a from all around. That is one of the roughest games you're likely to see in all of League.
Absolutely.
One Ari roam getting a triple kill. The second Ari roam getting a second triple kill. And already the game feels completely unwinnable for Mattsons Änglar, completely unlosable for Bergmans Fisk, who really needed that win.
Yeah.
They still cannot be complacent. They need to win all the rest of their games and hope that all these results go their way. Otherwise, it will be the end of their season 2. That is Mattsons Änglar now knocked out of quarterfinals, unable to make it. Bergmans Fisk still very much in the air.
Yeah.
Unlikely to make it themselves, but this is the way to go about it.
I think it's been a very difficult run for Mattsons Änglar. I mean, obviously, next year, I'm sure that they will develop and just hopefully come back stronger than ever, because we have seen, for the games I've seen of them, they've shown something. And obviously, players like Lee McGrindset do have that leadership and do have that sort of strong esports athlete kind of aura about them. And obviously that I think that they can come back and just give it another shot, and hopefully we'll be able to see them climb. But I think we'll see hopefully our MVP poll come up pretty shortly. I think, to be fair,
do we need it?
True. Do we even need it? I think we all know who it's going to go to.
Can we just play the graphic?
It's Bramstrom. Oh, it got to be on that Ari. Oh god, it's unbelievably strong. I mean,
I feel like it's not needed.
Yeah, true.
I don't think I've seen an Ari snowball a game so effectively for quite a while.
I mean,
yeah,
Faker took over the mouse and keyboard for a solid 20 minutes there. it was just a stomping, unfortunately, and
It's even that early lane phase to be able to get that chapter on the first back so early in the game. Find the ability,
yeah,
push the Victor out, get the roam, and then the perfect timing. The all-in bot happens, and we'll have a look at the stat line once more. On
but
this,
yeah, it has to be.
16. What a
I mean,
9, man! Come on, it's a 25-minute game with 25k damage.
That's literally 1,000 damage a minute. I mean, that is just insane. Like
That's ARAM levels of damage.
that is ARAM levels of damage. I mean, 16. She was 6-0.
That's 1 kill a minute.
Yeah, it
That is
was
1 KP per minute.
yeah,
Disgusting.
insane, absolutely insane. But I mean, we've got to just turn our attention to the next game. I don't think there's really much to say other than that Mattsons and Änglar need to ban Ari.
What I
And
need
also-
to say is, how did someone in Twitch chat not vote for Brandstrom? Someone didn't vote for Brandstrom. I just want to say that.
That's insane. That is absolutely insane. But unfortunately, we will head to a quick little break. Do stay with us though. Let's see if Mattsons and Änglar can give us a good final showing. To be fair, in one of their last games. Obviously, they're not able to go on to the playoffs, the brackets, but we'll see if they could properly show why they're in this tournament. Hopefully, and we'll see if BMF can get another win. Join us. See you later. Oh my god. Hello and welcome back. I mean, Jesus Christ, I'm still shaking after that Ari performance. I'm not sure about you, Rue, but that was fake.
That is one of a kind.
Fake-alike is what I would use. I mean, the only thing missing from that to make it absolutely perfect is the £500 faker skin. Like, unironically, like that would just be incredible. Like, absolute
That would be
cinema.
amazing for Riot if you did that.
But we can't give them the satisfaction because of the amount of spectator issues that we have. So
No.
no, not at all.
Yeah, we unfortunately missed a decent chunk of that insane Ari performance just because our favorite indie company didn't build a good client.
True. Do you know what amazes me? It's still off like an internet browser. That just amazes me. Like it's still it's just it's crazy. But obviously, we saw a lot from both teams. BMF pretty much stomping that first game. You hate to say it, but it was a 25-minute game, and there was an Ari that went like 16-1.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, but yeah, I mean, Mattsons.
As far as stomps go, that was definitely a stomp.
Yeah, could be the definition. But Mattsons Änglar, I mean, they're clearly a decent team, but unfortunately, in that they just haven't really stepped up as well as what you would like them to.
Yeah.
But coming into this next game,
the key question has to be: do you, as Matt, that is the question that has to be on the minds right now. Vi taken away first, which is probably the more consistent out of the Vi Ari combo that was employed to such great effect by Bergmans. I'm not convinced that you do Bandit Ari personally.
Yeah,
I think you can say this is a one-off. How often do you get 6 kills from your first 2 roams of the game?
true.
Not very. Gonna ban Talia as well as the Vi feels a little bit redundant, I feel. Personally, if you're gonna ban the Vi, probably don't need to ban the Talia as well.
Yeah.
Unless you're really looking to play a lot of dashes in the mid lane. Potentially opens up something like the Callista as well. I'm not sure how much that's played by Salazia.
I mean, we are.
Doesn't look like it is.
No, I don't think so. I mean,
No.
it is pretty interesting, like looking at it. I mean, we did hear a ban. I'm not sure who.
I tried to work out who that was. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I did try.
It was I'm presuming it a female, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Senna.
Senna.
Senna
And
once
then
more. That makes sense.
The Ezreal
There's this
as
one. They leave it
well.
open. Now
Okay.
comes the real question. Without the Vi, does Brandstrom go for it again? I'm not even convinced that he does. Without the same setup, it is not as it's not the consistent part of what made them strong. He did get strong, and it was great individual play that got him there. Is it replicable? That's the question.
So it tells us that Mattsons might first pick Ari here.
That's another option.
Oh no!
No, they left it open.
Yeah.
Hooper is a big fan of the big Scorpion.
Yeah, and to be fair, hear me out, but I've been playing him a little bit in the top lane. I know that's probably because I'm in bronze, but he is really fun to play in lane. He's just so tanky, and obviously against like really tanky opponents, he can cut them down to size because of his passive. Now we are potentially going to see the Lilia.
As well.
Oh no, Lilia was teased. Unfortunately for you, Lilia enjoy a 69. Unfortunately, in chat we won't see that. The Aurelian Soul being teased. I would love to see a little bit of Aurelian Soul, but unfortunately, I don't think we will.
Brandstrom has played 1 game of rank today. He played Aurelian Soul, is his solo game in rank for today. It is the Lilia.
It is going to be the Lilia.
Taken seconds so they don't have to swap it around later, I guess. Lilia into Skarner.
To be fair, I have seen this. The Lilia is, pretty good at just obviously outrunning the Skarner and also dealing a lot more damage as well. She is such a nuisance. Now, I think typically when I was eavesdropping on a conversation between a couple of Nord Esports players during their NLC show, I did hear that in response to the Skarner, the Ivern and Lilia is often the best sort of counters. And
I've seen the Ivan a lot, less
Yeah.
so on the Lilia. Typically got higher
yeah.
ban prio than was chosen. We're going to get a repeat of the bot lane again. Mattsons Angler, no, that was not their issue. They were the ones that were caught out on that roam, but it's just still a strong lane taken. Cogmore Lulu, insane scaling. Lulu's in a great place right now. If you want some free elo, find a friend who can play an ADC. Just kind of sit there and shield them every now and again. I don't like that was even hovered. If that's taken, I am not feeling that.
It is.
in lane.
It is. Are you not
Varus
a fan of Emilio? I mean,
can his cleanse the impale? I
I'm
don't
not
think it
sure.
can.
Actually, I don't know. I don't think it can.
The impale is a suppress. It shouldn't be able to, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Unless
look
it
that
might.
up real
We'll
quick.
have to see it in game.
You take us through the rest of the draft. I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the Emilio, like I said, we are going to see a Galio ban, obviously, on the mid lane. And the Camille. I think they may potentially go for this Ari once again. You know, the Galio pick does sort of lead me to say they are going to pick a AP champion.
I think
Who
it
that
might
AP
actually.
Who that AP
I'm looking at it.
champion?
It says it cleanses all non-airborne CC, and as much as it's a suppress, it's
But I
not an
suppose-
airborne.
Is it not?
I don't believe that the impale is an airborne. That
We are see
might
the Nar
actually.
ban in the meantime.
We're going to
are
see
gonna
that
see the
interaction
Nar ban.
play out.
Yeah.
Nar, a very nice blindable top lane. Difficult to counter unless we get a Yasuo.
We do not want that situation again. Poor Xeno. Poor Xeno.
I have no idea what you're on about. There is the Ari ban. I think that is odd.
The Ari
Lilia?
ban?
Yeah, you have Lilia on the other side.
I'm potentially going to see that on again. I mean, oh no, the Yorick being teased. No, the Ornn. Just something a
based
little
by
bit
Hovis.
different, you know. I'm not a fan of Yorick, but I would have been quite surprised seeing him there. Now, the top lane in the meantime, someone that works well into that one. Who?
I mean, Kled is there again if it's
Yeah.
wanted. Godkin, run it back if he wants. This whole game is effectively Mattsons Angler saying, run it back, unless... I just saw your eyes light up. The Kale... Ah, no.
No. Oh my
you
goodness!
got so excited as well.
I
That's-
know,
that's
I
sad.
was, because Kale is like so farmable until level 11, and then she gets absolutely horrid in lane. And for an Ornn, trying to farm and trying to get beyond that level 11, you know, as much XP as possible, so you can get your items for like the rest of your team.
I'd have
That's
loved the Zeus flashbacks to first stand and
Yeah.
nothing else.
yeah,
Amazing to see that Kale taken in pro in an international, no less. Syndra gonna round out this comp. Very team fight heavy once again. Mattsons Angler just need to make it to the face of the game where they can actually team fight this time.
yes,
Let's see if they can. On the other side, what even rounds out this kind of draft? I feel like a Yone does make sense.
A Jace.
mid. It's okay. I
yeah.
don't mind it, but Syndra
Can-
probably has her way until side lane threat actually kind of. I like it. Actually.
Yeah.
I've decided. I like it.
Now, I think both teams. I think I kind of like both drafts, to be honest. There's aspects of both drafts that I really do like. I mean, I like the
I'm
Kled.
not convinced by the Melio. I feel the
Yeah,
engage for Bergmans Fisk is now solely reliant on either Lilia going absolutely nuclear
or the Ornn.
or the Ornn, which is very telegraphed.
Yeah,
And neither side has that great engage, if we're being honest. The disengage with the Melio cleanse, which I'm still interested to see how that does play out. In the wording, it says non-airborne. So I can only assume the Impale will be countered by the Breath of Life, but the rest of it going to be interesting to see. There are still some knockups that it won't
Yeah.
cleanse, of course.
See,
Going across, yeah.
somewhat does give me the feeling that it might be airborne, only because I can remember
You
watching.
do get yoinked.
Yeah, like the Worlds quarterfinal between G2 and BLG last year.
Mm-hmm. That was the
Yike.
pre-quarterfinal, G2.
Yeah, G2 versus BLG. Yeah, basically
three.
broke. Yeah, it was best of three. Broken Blade. It's the Hanzama E one. You know that trending meme where Hanzama just didn't press E, and the last game there was a massive tech pause. But that game.
Yes. Yeah, he wasn't able to press E because he'd already rendered.
Yeah. The second round, Yike played Skarner and managed to get a massive ultimate off, and Broken Blade managed to get his Yasuo ultimate off at the same time, and obviously that just led them to winning that fight. But obviously Yasuo ultimate only works on knockups, if I'm not mistaken. Like, they have to be airborne targets. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I mean,
So,
we'll see if it even comes into play. It might not.
Yeah.
But that's the only reason I can really see this meteor being taken in the first place. If it doesn't cleanse that Impale, there are about 15 better champs to be taken support. You could get some better engage. You could throw a door in their face, play the Braum once more. You could go a more efficient Enchanter, even if you really want to take in a Varus with an Enchanter, which is an odd pairing at the best of times. Likely to go on hit now. Got to choke through a Skarner somehow, so I don't mind that. But Meteor just doesn't feel like the way unless that ultimate can really cleanse. It's just gonna be interesting to see how this works.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, both drafts. I mean, I think to be fair, on the side of BMF, they do have a little bit more of that poke style. Obviously, that Jace can sort of swap between, you know, that melee and obviously that poke as well. Then they've got that Varus as well, and I do think that if that Skarner gets his E off onto that Varus and he's pinned against the wall, there is just no escape. No matter any Milio cleanse or anything like that, I just don't think that it's really, like you said, the best option for a support. I think there could have been a lot of different champions that could have been picked.
I mean, the other issue is, does the Varus survive? Right? There's not much in terms of engage, but in these front to backs, you'd expect the Cogmore to melt through the other team's front line before a lethal tempo Varus can really get online, especially bearing in mind his passive. Sure, it's a reset, but you had to get the kill in the first place to get that extra attack speed to really push yourself over the top. We're just going to have to see what happens as we load once more onto the Rift. And we get I love the rematch as well. Kled into Ornn, and we've already hit a spec. Okay, no, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. But we're going to see no invades, just probably a 5-man spread. Yes, we will. Along that river. It's almost like a little handshake kind of thing. We just see everyone just line up. Kind of beautiful sight, actually. Now, you might have jinxed it potentially. Oh no, we're still working. We're still working. That's good to see. Now, obviously, the Skarner with the grass runes, taking the shield bash, definitely helps him out, deal a little bit more damage. Obviously, Pesmal with his his W actually. The Ornn with the grass and a little bit of cookies going on. I mean, we're seeing more and more cookies. I mean, obviously, the Varus with the lethal tempo, the Lily on the Conqueror as well, and the Jace phase rush actually.
Yeah. I'd like to let you know, I have scrolled the depths of the League Wiki, and I have found out that it does, in fact, remove the suppression.
Oh, wow.
Which, as long as the Impale is a suppression, it should remove.
We love to see it. We love the League Wiki coming in clutch. I mean, a little bit of early trading here. I mean, Brandstrom just getting a little bit of early damage onto Ligma Grind set. Obviously, transforming into his melee form. we just have to force that. Yeah, we'll have to force that Syndra away a little bit. Akalupa just trying just to help out his lane as much as possible there. Obviously, just going to be chilling in the meantime. Do get the level 2 up. So far, winning in terms of XP and levels. On the top, in the meantime, a little bit of trading going on. Not going to be finding much. Obviously, this Jace trying to take more of an aggro stance. We'll try and force that Syndra right into turret. Does not want LinkMcGrindset to have any farm whatsoever. Just doing well. I mean, both sets of teams just playing quite passive at the minute. Potential Skarner E does have his Q up.
He's gonna go.
He's gonna
Jace
go, but
caught out here. Is he gonna be forced to flash? I mean, with
Might
Skarner,
be.
the E nerf that came through, 15.5, the phase rush proc might just be able to escape without even having to flash. I think we're having a little bit of tech issues right now. We're trying to work them out, but it did escape. No flash invested. As we look across the map, oh my god,
potentially
that Ornn.
Ornn just living there. We'll have to
That
probably
is the
rely.
Ignite.
That is the
Ignite
Ignite
for
gone.
flash though.
We'll probably use some of his cookies or heal pots to stay full HP there. There we go. Will not be burnt down immediately. Oh, missing the cannon minion just for a little bit of trade. I mean, the Milio cleanse does come out. We are going to have a little bit of lag. Still no kills thus far. Pretty
Speaking
chill
of
3
which,
minutes.
this looks like a potential kill.
LinkMcGrindset caught out a moment.
Nice timing.
Nice timing indeed. I mean, 4 minutes in, LinkMcGrindset just got a little bit too eager, tried to look onto that Jace. That Jace was really low HP and low mana, but the Lilia is there just in time.
Ooh,
That will be a failed
turret.
tower dive. The Ornn just able just to live there. The Claire falling
Doesn't need
really,
his
really
flash
low.
to stay alive. And I mean that costs the whole of Skarner's HP. His Gromp going to be invaded on. Lilia taking the free frog that was available. Just going to disappear after taking it. Fated Ashes on the recall, likely to come. We're looking out already. Varus is low on these trades, low mana as well. If they can force an all-in right now, they're going to be happy. Mattsons Angler, if they can force this in the next kind of rotation of spells, but doesn't look like it will happen. Skarner not quite able to get over there in time. Hooper running his little scorpion legs over. Could look for the dive as well. The Varus is low. Unfortunately, we are just having a few technical issues with this. We are struggling to see what's going on. We will keep you updated. Yeah,
But
as
we are
I said
just-
in chat,
Yeah.
the Zimbabwean telecom is pretty strong. I think I know who's winning the
paper
telecom
wiring.
wars.
Yeah, indeed. I mean,
It's not
we are gonna see a
KT.
potential decent gank here. Hupe needs to just try to get his rock off, but unfortunately not going to be followed up with much. Hupe being burnt down a little bit. That Lilia just so strong early on, so quick,
Swell
so,
seed.
dealing with so much damage.
Acceleration. He's flashed away. You
Does
see the
flash
accelerated
away.
shotworks exploding in his face. He does die, by the way. He actually died, I think, to the Lilia burn. Lilia picks up a second kill already. First 2 blood spills heading her way. Already on the Haunting Guys. Skipped over the Fated Ashes. Had so much gold on that first back. After getting the kill and the extra Gromp. Now almost on the Leandries at 6 minutes. It's going to be, instead of a very fed mid lane, it's going to be a very fed jungle who might even be able to impact the map more than that Ahri was in the previous game. That's a scary
Indeed.
thought.
I mean, like I spoke about it earlier, the Lilia is just such a decent counter into that Skarner. Because, Skarner, he doesn't really do a lot of damage. He's there just to help support. But in the meantime, Godkin does manage to find a kill on to Wraithfall. But unfortunately, we potentially see a dive here. The Lilia will tank a turret shot. She
died to
does.
that turret shot.
I'm pretty sure she will.
Oh, he got both of them.
The Cogmore gets a double kill and claims a feat of warfare.
How's that
Mattsons
happening?
Änglar. Very, very good. Very, very good start. Slayer getting 2. Excellent play. But addressing back to my further point, I mean, that Lilia is just really good at just burning down that Skarner. Obviously, Skarner early on, not really that strong.
The Skarner has been neutralized so effectively.
Yeah.
But that lead has just been thrown from the jungle straight onto the enemy ADC, who's now 2-0-0. Most of the way to his Blade of the Ruined King, already with boots up and ready as well. And all that early presence, all that early, prio, everything that was gained, just been chucked straight back. Cogmore now accelerated as well as the Lilia. Not really instead. She is still very strong herself. Don't get me wrong, but I'd much rather have a fed ADC than a fed jungle.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, to be fair, this Cogmore does have to lead, does have the Berserker's boots. Making a start close to that Orc. We'll just try and farm a little bit more. I mean, obviously, I think it's an important thing to note. In terms of Adakan, I mean, there is now a lead. The first feat being claimed by Mattsons Änglar. They're looking for that Drake next. They are pathing a little bit up. The Lilia is bot side. We'll see how this goes down. That Kendrake just being taken a little bit by Pascaron. Just not going to find much there. The Skarner is coming to contest. So is the enemy bot lane. Will be coming up. Jace coming down.
Yeah, they're going to give over the bot wave entirely. Cogmore leaving that wave to die at the turret. And I don't know if they can get in here in time. Just going to have to find out. The smites go down. I don't know who that's gone to. It looks like BMF able to take away first Drake of the game. And, I mean, that's... I don't really get the contest there. It's okay, but you're losing so much bot for this. You had a Cogmore that was 1,000 gold up, now only 300. Simply because you let them back into this game by going for the objective that you didn't really have the prio to contest. It's a little bit rough.
Oh, Leclerc dodging perfectly that Ornn ultimate, but unfortunately does have to run away. The Ornn missing his E, not going to find the stun. Leclerc is out.
And that's another flash down. Rail the Mail. Flash getting burnt on cooldown this game. Ignite now going to be there for Godkin. And we saw what he did last time. He had the advantage of Ignite against no flash. Rail the Mail, I think, sees the TP, knows he has to run away. Probably going to lose away, but he has TP himself to get back after finishing off. Does he have the Sunfire Aegis? He does. Nice.
If I'm not mistaken, I have just been informed that, obviously, if you are present watching the stream, I believe that we will be raiding the official SOL stream, obviously, because we're having a lot of network technical difficulties. I think that we might call it here. But then, obviously, if you are watching right now, please do go over to the official SOL stream and go and watch directly on there. We appreciate the amount of time you spent with us. We do, again, want to apologise for both of these issues. I'd just like to say many thanks on behalf of me and Rue. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been an absolute pleasure to cast. Rue, I love casting with you, and hopefully we'll have a stream where we don't have these issues,
Yeah, I'd love a normal stream. That'd be nice. Before we go, is there a kill?
Is there a kill?
Who knows? We'll leave it as a mystery. It's Schrodinger's kill.
Surely there is. Oh no, the Lilia is just so speedy.
Ignite?
Yeah,
Ignite.
she does go away. And there you go.
Big fight to finish us off. That's nice.
Absolutely. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to follow.